has been relentless, and the finish line is in sight. Just 6 maps sit between your team and the PMWC title.
But Barney, the smash pool is here, so anyone who reaches 122 points can snatch the victory with one last chicken dinners and become our champion.
There's something brutally
guys.
honest about the final day. Don't give me excuses, just give me results. My name is Barney Banks, and I'm your host alongside the awesome Luty.
My name is Rizo. How are you guys? Hi
I
Ashi.
hope you're ready, Atom, because we are ready. So it's time to welcome one last
Ashish,
time our
Discord पे आजा.
finalists on stage, starting with Al Hula Club Esports.
अरे क्या सही टाइम है मेरा आने का? Guys, क्या चल रहा है सब? कौन जीत रहा है? हेलो अरे आना
Team Vitality.
टीम वाइटलिटी डिस्कॉर्ड पे आओ गाइस डिस्कॉर्ड पे
Hurrah Esports.
हाय प्लेज वाइटी वेलकम क्या हाल चाल
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, bro. How are you?
I'm great.
How are you?
I'm great. What about you? ये बेबी का लेना.
हाँ. और कौन हो सकता
अरे
है?
भाई.
ऐसे बकलोली करते.
अरे पहली बार.
Last day I hope for the best. हाँ, thank you. आप मुझे पता है आप चाह रहे हो. गॉडलिया हो चुकी है.
ऐसे पहली बार बेबी गर्ल ने कुछ तेरे को.
हाँ यार वैसे पहली बार बेबी गर्ल ने कुछ कंट्रीब्यूट किया है.
पहली बार हाँ.
तालियां बेबी गर्ल के लिए.
ना पैसे लेके कहाँ क्या करती है?
भाई बेबी गर्ल अमीर हो गई गाइस आज. फाइनली. अबे ये अरीना को देख. ये अरीना वाले ने क्या
ऐसा कर एक बार ऐसा कर डांस कर ऐसा कर.
क्यों कर मैं क्या कोई वो क्या ये कर वो कर हमेशा ये कर वो कर ही बोलते रहना तू. खुद करके दिखा. खुद करके दिखा.
नहीं.
तो
और लग किधर है? मैं दिख रहा.
ये अरीना वाले इतना ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस लग रहा है ना मुझे आज इतना ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस लग रही है ये अरीना में क्या बताऊं.
Only one key will remain intact after Alpha 7 and Yangon Galacticos. The throne sits empty and Paris demands a champions.
गाइस तुम लोग को क्या लग रहा है? आते ही गॉडेल और रोजी का नाम ले लिया आप पूरा. अब काम पूरा है उनका. देखते हैं भाई देखते हैं. लेट्स सी यार.
Months of preparation, thousands of hours played, and sacrifices have led to this point. Life-changing money sits on the horizon, and a legacy that dreams are made of.
Oh God.
We saw it in the group stage, we saw it in the survival stage. These teams are here for a reason, and every single one of them can actually clutch it all. We call our PMWC
Send game show. बस बेबी गर्ल मुझे पता लग गया है तो अमीर है. आजा.
There's been so many huge games. E-Arena, one team that's already shown we can break records here live at EWC. Yeah, I think it's going to be
आजा भाई आजा डिस्कॉर्ड में आजा. पता लग गया मुझे तू अमीर है. टीम से ज्यादा प्रेशर में मैं हूँ आज.
E-Arena barely made it here into the finals.
हम तो चिल है bro. हम तो चिल है.
हम तो चिल है भाई. हमारी टीम फाइनल में जिस दिन पहुंची ना हमारे लिए ऐसा था कि फाइनल जीत
गए. एक पाकिस्तानी स्ट्रीमर था ठीक है.
हाँ.
वो एडमिनो को स्नाइपर मारा ना, इसलिए हो रहा
हाँ
वाला
देखा
कोई
देखा
तो
देखा देखा
My
मैंने
opinion on Full Fry.
उसके बाद उसका फेस देखना है, पता है ना, उसका फेस देखना है।
Proving that in a LAN environment like
अरे
this,
बाबू
in
आगे
which
आ,
can show
सुनो
up and be
सुनना।
able to contend. They've got championship mentality.
शांत
I
रहेंगे
think
गाइस,
we'll
आज हम
see
ज्यादा
that.
नहीं बोलेंगे, आज हम सिर्फ मैच देखेंगे।
Secure fourth rise. Finally shut down Arena.
The team that surprised me the most got to be Nigma Galaxy. I mean, they were getting hot dropped by Ida almost the whole tournament, and they're at the top of the leaderboard, so they can actually win this whole thing.
Down to the last man in Joel. They need to isolate the
रीजो मोमो खिला दे
क्या कर दे?
मुंह
क्या
में
भेजी हूँ?
ज्वेल्स भेजी हूँ मैं, मोमो खिला दे।
बस कर दी ना वही, अभी तक अमीर समझ रही थी मैं तुझे, और वापस
नहीं, वैसे तो तेरे पास ये ज्वेल्स है ना, तू 10 क्यों भेजा अभी?
अबे ये इतना हो क्यों होगा? हाय कायरा, वेलकम टू स्ट्रीम इंडिया अगेन ऑन
just when
टॉप
it needed to, and that aggression could win it.
So Easy wants to live up to his name as the punishing play arrives, and it's not shit. Red Force wins the chicken dinner.
저희를 교전으로 상대하실 때 긴장하셔야 될 겁니다.
आज जो भी इंडिया के बारे में कुछ बोलेगा ना, आज स्क्रीन देख रहा है मेरी?
हाँ हाँ हाँ, देख रहा हूँ।
मैं ये करूँगी, देख रहा है, देखेगा जब बताना तब। देख रहा है? देख रहा है क्या?
कुछ नहीं दिख रहा उधर, तू कुछ नहीं कर रहा उधर। अच्छा ओके 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 गॉट यू।
कोई भी आएगा ऐसे
हाँ
नहीं?
हाँ हाँ हाँ।
ले साले, लास्ट टाइम जो आपने क्या हंसी नहीं रुक रही, ऐसा ही है भाई, हम हंसाते रह गए।
The stage is set. Our teams in
The
position.
stage is
And like Letty
set.
said on the stage, the dawn of the
And
final
let's
day
go.
has finally arrived, Blank. And
The stage is set on fire.
इधर इतनी अमीर कैसे हो गई गाइस आज? मैं तो ये सोच रही हूँ, how is this possible?
देख बेबी गर्ल फेवरेट पोजीशन में है उधर।
चल अब मोमो खिला दे रीजो।
आ जा यहाँ खिला।
इसमें से रीजो को 10 रुपए भी नहीं आता शायद।
मैं अपनी पीओवी से बताऊँ इंडियन टीम को क्या करना चाहिए, जिससे कुछ नहीं भाई, वो ऑलरेडी मेरी नजरों में जीत गई। हाय स्पिरो, वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम, क्या हाल? यार ना करो, आज खुद की सांस भी फूली हुई है। सेवन से अभी 14 पे आने वाली है। मेरे को नहीं लग रहा अब की अरीना जीतेगी, पता है क्यों? बहुत ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस है भाई, बहुत ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस है। गाइस आज हम शांति से मैच देखेंगे, आज कोई लड़ाई झगड़ा नहीं होगा, लास्ट में करेंगे। मैं कह रही हूँ अगर 14 नहीं जीती, चाहे अगर
स्टार्ट हो गया बेबी गर्ल रोंडो।
सुन, अगर ई अरीना जीती और 4T भी नहीं जीती, ओजी भी नहीं जीती, गॉड लाइक भी नहीं जीती, मैं तब भी हल्ला करूँगी।
लैपटॉप में चलो ना,
हमारी भी नहीं जीती तो तुम्हारी भी नहीं जीतेगी। जाओ शांत रहो। कितने पे आना है क्वालिफाई के लिए? मैम क्वालिफाई, अरे फाइनल चल रहा है,
फाइनल चल रहा है।
हाय स्पिरो, वेलकम टू स्ट्रीम, कैसे हो? मैं बढ़िया तो
नहीं रीजो, एक सुनिए क्या अभी बेबी गर्ल ने क्या बोला?
क्या बोली?
लैपटॉप ऑन कर, माँ कसम लैपटॉप ऑन कर, सब कुछ कह रहे हैं, हमारे पास कुछ भी नहीं है।
मेहंदी लगा रही हूँ।
क्यों?
इधर
मेरे मम्मी को मेहंदी लगा रही हूँ।
अच्छा तो
शादी है,
शादी है, सही है भाई।
आई भी
हाँ
मम्मी की शादी हो रही है।
हाँ भाई जरूर।
तुम मेरे से कब कर रहे हो?
क्या गिफ्ट ला रही है?
गिफ्ट बता, मंगलसूत्र ले आती हूँ, मंगलसूत्र ले आओ।
ये क्या, ये तो मैं भी ला सकती हूँ। अच्छा
हाय टिकट मौसी, वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम। मौसी कहाँ खो गए थे?
That's going to be a salient
अरोरा
object
या
the
NS
longer
में
the
से
day
कोई
goes on
एक
as
जीत
well.
रहा
If
फोर्थ
they're in the
में
smash zone, you've got to
स्मैश
stop them.
करके
Risk
हैं
it all or have your dreams snatched away.
Nochin Red Force E Arena
Okay.
dropping out in the
मम्मी की
same
शादी
position.
हाँ
We
बेबी
do
गर्ल की मम्मी
have
की शादी
big old hot
ये
drop
आतंकी
towards
ने
Neox.
मुझे
Every team
रुक शांत
understanding
रहो
need to
शांत
pick up
रहो
those points right now. Ida
लगाना
already
कृष्णा
started alongside with Aura.
भाई खतरनाक
Going
मैच
back
चल रहा है
and
कुछ
forth,
तो
but S2G
कुछ तो
also
खतरनाक
finds some
चल रहा
points
है
here
आतंकी
alongside
knock हो
their
गया
way.
ये आतंकी ने फिनिश करा एक
Two
और
eliminations
नीचे
so
देख रही हूँ
far.
यहाँ पे
Locks down.
और
This is a
यहाँ
good
आज
result.
आज मैं कमेंट्री करने
Thus
वाली
far
हूँ चलो
for S2G, the two Turkish squads going head
और
to
यहाँ
head
पर
here.
यूएलएफ के एक बंदे ने एसयूजी के बंदे को मारा और
अरे
यहाँ पर
किसका आवाज
एसयूजी का
है?
एक बंदा यहाँ पर रश करते जाते लेकिन डर के मारे पीछे जाते हैं और ये मूव कराया बेवकूफों की तरह अगर ये नॉक नहीं कर पाया तो नुबड़ा है भाग रहा है पता नहीं किधर
Expectations on the pull.
और देखते हैं यहाँ पर मार पाएंगे ओह माय गॉड यूएलएफ का एक बंदा बहुत बड़ा नूब है गाइस
Just
उसके बस
absolutely
की कुछ
flipped
है
it around
नहीं
that corner there. Didn't
बट
really
ठीक है हमारी बस की कुछ नहीं
have
चलो
much
गाइस
of
आगे
a
बढ़ते हैं और यहाँ पर
challenge.
देखते हैं यूएलएफ का एक बंदा क्या करता है
The faux pas coming through from Kedge.
और यहाँ पे गॉड लाइक और ओजी की तो गाइस ये लोग कभी फाइट दिखाएंगे नहीं पता नहीं इन लोग को क्या दुश्मनी है हमारी टीमों से बट ठीक है अब हम कुछ कह भी नहीं सकते पता लगा ईडब्ल्यूसी वाले ने हमें स्ट्राइक करी तो हम कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे और यहाँ पर एसयूजी के एक बंदे ने यूएलएफ के एक बंदे को नॉक किया और एसयूजी के बंदे को किसने नॉक दिया बे एनएस का बंदा भी आ गया भाई गोली चलने के लिए उधर
He's been a real
40
meme
ने
machine in the
टैंपा पेल दी
competition. Great story for him as an individual with some of the plays he's been making.
एसयूजी के 4 किल
But like you touched on, we saw it down in the bottom
भेंडी
left. Now we get it full screen. This is Aurora.
चलो गाइस कोई बात नहीं गाइस वो सब
They've had
छोड़ो
some
अगर
good
तुम लोग
moves.
40 के
Got
सच्चे
to keep
फैन
it
हो
consistent. That's the
आज
name of
फाइट
the
के
game.
करो
Don't let things poison the well the longer today
ज्वेल्स
goes
भेजो
on.
ज्वेल्स
Fury
आज
has shown up in
फाइट
the
क्यों
Elim
जाना
fight
चाहिए
versus Ida
गाइस
as well. And we go over to E Arena clashing up close to
तुम्हें
Warts.
कसम है 40 की
Turning
और यहाँ
K
पर
overwhelmed
विज
after
गॉड
getting
ने
one off with a pump, but he's got backline protection, but not for long. That's the flick back over.
गाइस किसकी
Schweppes
किसकी
comes
फाइट
in,
चल रही है मैं तो
can
पागल हो
recover
जा
it
रही हूँ
blank.
पता नहीं मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा
Absolutely,
कौन सा
seems this
बंदा
way. Only
किसकी
3
टीम को मार
players
रहा
here,
है
as
कब
per
मर रहा है
usual. As we
इधर
know,
घुमा के रख
from Rondo, usually have a 3-man
और
send
यहाँ
out,
पर
and one
गाइस
player will
आज
be the
विज
backup
गॉड
on the rest.
पागल
That
हो
is
गया
Cozy
है
right now.
और यहाँ पर गॉडेल और
Admino
एयूआर की
losing,
फाइट चलते हुए
Rufus is
देखते हैं
down.
कौन जीता और ये एडमिनो ने
Straight away. Some good shots off right there, leaving Aurora
Gordon
in a bit of a
took
pickle on the two
kill.
players alive. They're over towards the north side of test track, but a good showing there from
Nice.
Godlike.
सबको मार
IQ
दिया
inside the building.
Pick for us.
Hyunbin gets
गाइस आज ओजी और गॉड लाइक नहीं रुकने वाली आज ओजी और गॉड लाइक पागल हो चुकी है गाइस अब उनको कोई नहीं रोक सकता यही मैच अगर वो पहले दिन से खेलते तो क्या पता आज वो भी ऊपर होते बट कोई बात नहीं गाइस हमारी
Wanted to
टीम
first onto this a
है
little bit
विज
further.
गॉड नॉक अरे विज गॉड के नेट से वही
Susie
बंदा
just
नॉक
playing
अरे
on the lip
बढ़िया
of the
रे
window here.
कौन नॉक हुआ
T24 down outside. IQ trying to play off his info. Bait around here just towards the other
गाइस
side.
आज ओजी पागल हो चुकी है ओजी आज तो फुल फॉर्म में आज ओजी के सामने जो भी आएगा चाहे वो 40 हो चाहे वो कोई हो और यहाँ पर एनएस का एक बंदा अरे सब एस पावर तो ना होते लाडले सब MP4 तो ना कर देते 40 के बंदे सब वो ना होवे एस पावर
honestly for Tizzy there. He's working no vest, no helmet, playing like he has got all the armor in the world.
और यहाँ पर रिलोडिंग और ये चूतिया कट गया एनएस के बंदे का ये क्या कर रहा है पता नहीं
The jump out there, tried to go for the drop shot on that one. So
Difficult
easy.
to match,
It's
देख
good
रही
to
है।
go though, gets the players back
Max
up
वाला
and
ही
in
लगा।
position. But this is all the way.
और
to the
यहाँ
drive.
पर गाइस आज ओजी पागल हो गई गाइस आज ओजी को कोई नहीं रोक सकता एक करके एक ओजी ऊपर की टीमों को मारते हुए और यहाँ पर ओजी ने एक पूरी टीम एलिमिनेट कर दी है गाइस आज ओजी को कोई नहीं रोक पाएगा
To continue.
आज अपने बंदे दाल चावल
We
खा
know
कर
that
आए
they like to flex out around stadium, get themselves some eliminations
अब
where
उन
they
लोग को
can.
डर
Already
नहीं है ना,
started off in a
इसलिए।
good way.
आज यहाँ पर अपने बंदे दाल चावल खा कर आए 6 फिनिशेस के साथ यहाँ पे 7
Serious
एलिमिनेशन
finishes, वहाँ कसम।
Those finals,
Forward.
teams can't quite make it to get
Forward.
into that
अरे
region
गॉडलैक
smash
वर्सेस
group
अरे
on the
ओजी
second
वर्सेस
match.
गॉडलैक हो रहा
They've
अरे
gotta be
क्या हो रहा है?
If you want to be lucky at
लोग
home,
कहाँ
you
इधर
gotta join the
दिखाई दे
2026
Oh my
PMWC.
तू कहाँ देख रहा है बाबा
हाँ गाइस 40 वर्सेस ओजी अरे आपस में मत लड़ो भाई आपस में मत लड़ो अपनी टीम का बंदा है छोड़ दे पावर छोड़ दे भाई अपनी टीम का है
But it's been good decision making
तू
and some
इधर
great
हो जाएगा।
gunplay.
अब
for OG
40
that's
को
made
मार
the
दे,
difference
40 को
coming
मार दे
into the
बस।
early fights here versus Alula
40 के बाद
and
मार
Ida
के भाग
finding
जाओ
themselves up to 6 elims.
सपोर्ट योर टीम गाइस प्लीज
That's what we're talking about
इट्स
for all these
रिक्वेस्ट
teams. You've got to
क्या
have a
ये
big
फर्स्ट में क्या
गॉडल
बढ़िया रे।
ओजी और 40 एक साथ दो ना तीन भाई तीनों तो भाई
With the 7 they've been able to farm up after shutting down, of course, Nonshin Red Force in the cheeky plays we were seeing through the windows.
अगर ये लोग टीम अप करके फॉल बैक करो तो होगा क्या प्रॉब्लम?
और यहाँ पर हमें लगता है आज ये थोड़ी ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस है। अरे मार दो यार। छोटी मरेगी गाइस यहाँ पे।
अरे मर गया ये मर गया
और यहाँ पर एस पाउडर ने आतंकी को नॉक किया और यहाँ पर ओ माय गॉड आपस की टीमें लड़ते हुए गाइस।
आतंकी नॉक
Immediately, and that does make their lives much easier. Going forward, Tony K will ascend.
एडमिनो नेट से नॉक करा
ओ माय
आरू
गॉड
को।
गाइस यहाँ पर देखते हैं कौन सी टीम है। ओ माय गॉड
आतंकी फिनिश हो गया। AKO की भी नॉक हो गया। विस्गॉट भी नॉक हो गया। क्या चल रहा?
अरे खुद नॉक दे रहे हो क्या? अपनी टीम को किल दे रहे हो क्या भाई? क्या कर रहे हो?
No more Joker and Tony K will have to fight for their lives.
और यहाँ पर ये और सूर्य की फाइट होते हुए ये अपने पे टीम पे
Nay pulled, bounced round. Not going to deal any damage though onto the Furious squad.
Furia.
They know how to play in these sort of lobbies with this much pressure.
ये क्या था? ये कौन सा नेड है बे?
बफर हो रहा।
कभी कभी हो जाता है यार।
अरे रिफ्रेश कर दो ना। आ गया रिफ्रेश कर दो।
हाँ वो 1 सेकंड के लिए होता है बस वो के ज्यादा नहीं होता।
हाँ
अरे
ये नेट से जो फटा
सूर्या का एक नेट सूर्या है। सूर्या नाम है क्या है?
फ्यूरिया
नाम है सूर्या करेंगे गाइस हम। सूर्या की एक टीम नहीं हम सूर्या बोलेंगे भाई। अपना अलग चलता है।
अरे गॉड लगा के ले। एडमिनो स्कोर आगे आ रहा है।
अरे यार पहले 40 को निपटाओ ना भाई इधर। अरे वहाँ गॉडल और 40 की फाइट दिखाओ ना। वही ना यार अपनी उसकी टीम की फाइट नहीं दिखा रहे। ये इतना गंदा नेड मार रहे हैं फ्यूरिया वाला।
Tony K. He's just been arming that nade, waiting for
कौन है वो लॉन्ग पे? कौन है? सामने है क्या? हाँ
और यहाँ पर सामने ने नॉक किया यहाँ पर। Oh my God guys. Oh my God. अगर ये
40 को नॉक कर दिया। फिनिश भी कर दिया।
लड़ ले।
मेरा बहुत लेट आ रहा।
It was a good primer, but no direct connection. He's going to be baited down as well. Could be stung from the back here.
गया।
Oh, the bounce is big.
Oh.
क्यों दिखा रहा है ना अभी तेरे को?
So close. You can feel in that moment there was almost a clutch potential. Luckily for E-Arena, they can't move back up towards stadium, move back into
अरे ये साले
एडमिनो ने ऑरेंज नॉक करा।
ये साले दूसरी जगह लड़ने आ गए भाई देख। वो 40 को छोड़ के इधर लड़ने आ गए। कह रहे लुल्ली पुच्ची।
अरे नेड।
पीछे चल रहा है क्या आशी?
अरे मैं तेरा स्ट्रीम देख रहा हूँ ना। रुक जा।
They have the capability to play those central positions.
अच्छा हुआ।
But for E-Arena, I think they were just gambling with the points there. They get the full 4-man flush then.
और ये गॉडल फ्रॉम में oh my god एस पाउडर सुम्मा मेरे भाई सुम्मा आ जाओ आज ऊपर कमबैक हो जाए भाई कमबैक हो जाए आज।
एडमिनो भी नॉक करा। फिनिश कर दिया।
आज नहीं बचेगा कोई भी।
अरे ले
पटक देना पड़ेगा।
एडमिन और एक नॉक भी करा।
अरे एडमिन तो प्रो है भाई। 10 किल हो गए गॉडल के।
कमबैक हो जाएगा।
कमबैक और व्हाट? कितना है स्मैश? 144 है शायद ना।
It's almost poetic. It's been
144 है शायद।
114 है। 114
coming into it to start the day here.
14 है।
अरे स्नैक्स की वीडियो देखो स्नैक्स में
61
दिखाता है।
eliminations over the course of the finals up to that point.
God like
Good form when it came to fighting. They just got to maintain that pressure.
पता है ओजी ने भी स्किल्स मारा पता।
चला नहीं बोल रहे तो। हाँ तो ठीक है तो गधा का ही बोल रहे तो।
Godlike though, 10 eliminations. You know,
कृष्णा कोई बात
कैसे बोल रहे हैं? शर्म नहीं आ रहा देखो अपना बड़ा
अभी तो 11 का हो रहा है विगल।
दीदी को गधा बोल रहे हैं।
विगल
11 महीने बड़े हैं तेरे से थोड़ा इज्जत दे मेरे को ठीक है?
आज गॉडल आलू के पराठा खा के आइए। नहीं आज ये दाल
They
चावल
can
खा कर
earn
आए
those big rankings today. Grab some more cash on board. A bit more
हैदराबाद
pride for
मटन
the
बिरयानी
country
खा
as
गया
well.
ए चल
फ्राइड
चल
चिकन ले ले मजा आ
Overall,
जाए
really big step up in that last stage.
चल
That's
गया
why I was saying on day one, you got to give these boys time.
यार लेकिन
और
first
67 में
time
है
at
भाई
an
ये लोग
international
67
here at PMWC, so
हो
अरे
सकता है
अरे फिर से
कंसिस्टेंट
वो
करना
जो
चाहिए
needed a
वर्सेस
little
स्क्वाड लाइक
bit
हो
of
रहा
यार ये
हो
गॉड लाइक वाले
जाएगा
ओजी पे
motivation,
क्यों जा रहे हैं मेरे
essentially.
को समझ में नहीं आ रहा है
And once that was done, they looked
अरे
pretty
जोन
damn
तो
good
उधर है
going
ना
in
अरे
towards
ले
the later
भाई
portions
ये
of
क्या
the
रोटेशन
game.
है
Already starting out strong here
मानिया
on the
का
first
जोन देखो
game
मानिया
of the
देखो
day.
कहाँ है
वो बता रहे हैं ना फिर
Circle
उनको
continues to center up around Mayran. That's
रोटेशन
2C
मानिया
देखो
मुझे ऐसा
भाई
क्यों लग रहा है मानिया की
good
मौत है
spot. It has been good control over the
रिकॉल भी
center for
बचे है ना अभी
हाँ
S2G
हाथ तो ठीक
for
करो
the
एक तो
majority of
बेचे
games.
बता रहा
जोन पे
Very
जाके
good
बैठेगा
rotate.
शायद
I
से
mean, Solkay's been in the game
ये आ रही
such
है
a
मानिया के पीछे
long
से
time at this point.
अरे फाइट होगा
And
शायद
that
से भाई
veteran
यार
mindset is
मालूम
really coming into play
अरे
here, where
बीफ
he's
पीछे
seen
एक
all these
बिरयानी
आईडी
की
के
अरे
आ रहा
चुप ना
he's
हाय
seen all
रिजवान
these
वेलकम टू द
rotates.
स्ट्रीम
He
आता
can
हूँ
really
मैच के
lead the
बाद
team to
नहीं नहीं
victory.
अभी
देखो
अभी
ना
Some of the gun
रिजवान
skill
अगर
maybe
तू
isn't
मैच
there
के
for
बाद
this
आए ना तो
guy,
मेरे से मत बोलना
but
आज
he's
के
still
बाद
giving it gas when needs be. I think Solkay's had a great step
जाओ
up,
अब
considering the amount of time he's been in this esport.
You've got a lot of talent on that roster. You can pass the baton too if you need to rely on someone for a sick play mechanically as well. So certainly armed for some good fights. Talking of which, Aurora
गाइस यार इससे
getting
अच्छा
line of
स्प्रे तो
sight
मेरा है
over onto the
मैसेज कर दो
Vitality
6 बजे
migration as they wanted to make a move straight past. Few shots
कहाँ जा
on
रहे हो तू
target,
आज भी ट्यूशन में क्या तेरा
resulting in them going down to a three-man squadron.
मजबूरी
अरे तो क्या पढ़ा
कुछ भी
तेरे
कराती
ये
है
अच्छा नहीं पढ़ता
Over towards the zone.
हाँ
अरे फिर उसे
अच्छा,
यहाँ
ये
आना है ना
टूट
यार
गया।
15 दिन
Push
के लिए
down from Nonshin Red
और वो
Force.
भी उन लोग को
Thunderfoot their
एग्जाम
way
के
into the
दिन आ
zone
रही हूँ
early. I was
तो
saying the
इसलिए वो अभी
consistency of
कवर
this
अप
team
कर
look
रही है
good, but it's the fact they've turned
तू
on
भी
this
आ क्यों नहीं
aggression.
रहा
They're
है
willing
आशीष
to
यार
fight
इतना
for a
इम्पोर्टेंट
good
क्या
position
काम है
now,
यार
Black.
तेरा
I mean, playing over towards the northeast side of
क्या
Mayran,
निकल
it's a bold maneuver,
हाँ
right? You don't try and play to
क्या
मैं
इतना
बोला ना
एक्टिव
मेरा
on the
मेरा
outer
अरे
edge.
मेरा बर्थडे है मेरा
कब
क्या
है
बोलते हैं
Themselves too
मेरे को
stuck
ऑफिस
into Mayran
अक्टूबर में
either.
है ना मैं
They
मैं निकल
have
जाऊंगा मैं
accessibility to the
शायद
rest of
से
the zone.
मुंबई चले जाऊंगा
हाँ
पता
तो
नहीं किधर
अगला
जाऊँ
महीना थोड़ा
मैं
ना
सोच
जा
रहा
रहे
हूँ
हैं भाई
इंटरनेशनल ट्रिप
अगला
करना
महीना तो आ जा
And what is a bit
तू
of a
सीधे सीधे
dastardly
बोल देना
अरे
कि मेरे को नहीं
बिफोर
आना है
10 days है
E-Arena, we saw
अरे
them coming
सौम्य
in
नॉक हो
very
गया
late. They played over towards stadium for a
अरे
long, long
फिनिश
यार
time.
फिनिश हो गया
Go over to recuperate after two players
कैसे
and Tony
हुआ
K,
अभी तक
मानिया
तो
नॉक
बहुत
करा
अच्छी थी यार अभी
as
तक तो
well
बहुत
as
अच्छी थी
Joker
यार
went down to the
बहुत
Fury a
खराब हो
lot.
गई हूँ हाँ मेरी
तुम लोग
स्ट्रीम
शांत
बहुत
रह के
खराब
देखो मान्या ना
मानिया नॉक हो गया S4 नॉक कर दिया
स्ट्रीम रुक
Of
गई यार
the
आदमी ना वे फिनिश कर दे ले हो गया आईडी के हो गया खत्म बाहर
14 किल ना
हाँ
14 kills
अबे ये आ गई ना लेकिन इसके पास ना ओजी के पास आई है
मान्या रिकॉल हो सकता है
मानिया रिकॉल हो सकता है
नहीं सौम्य भी हो सकता है वो लोग मरे
चलो
थोड़ी ना
क्लोज ना
हैं।
ना
वो लोग मरे मरे थोड़ी ना हैं, हो सकते हैं सारे रिकॉल
बार बार इधर से पहुंचे से दिखे
keeping it pretty cool
गॉड
here. Inside of
ये
the
वर्सेस
arena.
ओजी हो रहा है
Truly
शायद से
always
हाँ ये
changes
वर्सेस ओजी है
how
शायद
these
ये
teams
वाले आ
plays.
गए इन पे
So crazy as well.
Come
Godlike's
on,
just hit
guys,
the
यही मौका है,
14th
यही मौका है।
elimination on this game. They are cracking it open at the moment. Looks great to see.
चलो
for
गॉडल पे तो
E-Arena,
अभी कोई है
I
नहीं
do think you're getting ahead sometimes. Where for this game,
गॉडल
for
को
them,
रिकॉल देना पड़ेगा पता
वो जा रहे हैं ना
इसको
recall।
जा रहा है अकेले जा रहा है अकेले
तो
जा रहा है
अकेले तो
अकेले
जाएगा
जा रहा है
recall
is
देने,
just
किसको
getting
लेके
enough
जाएगा और?
so you open up the capability throughout the rest of the
लेकिन
day.
उधर
to
रिकॉल
hit
किधर
that
है
smash.
जाएगा
But
कहीं
you
पीछे
can get in
होगा
your head about it. You absolutely can. So
वो
moves up
उनके
towards the
बाहर
western
जाएंगे।
side. Nongshim is
अरे
extremely
नेट फूटा शायद
pleased
से
with this shift as they were already in
बताओ।
Mayran as we stated earlier. E-Arena was
अच्छा
a
डिजाइन
little bit
मम्मी
slow.
तुम्हें
गाइस एनी प्रेडिक्शन प्लीज किसका चिकन होगा?
Vitality finds the first here in top, but Axel will go down once again.
अरे
Aurora has
बैकअप
been
क्या दिया
hounded
पता
from
है
Vitality
टॉप नॉक
the
होते हुए
entire game.
आज होगा गॉडल और 40 का
अरे ये पता है ये
Clean
40 है ना ये इन्हीं लोगों को मार रहा है पता है किसी और को नहीं मार पा रहा है
हाय
They saw the rotation
वेलकम
from
टू द
Hora. How
स्ट्रीम
committed
क्या
to get
हाल
past
चाल?
them now, trying to get into the zone
दिखा रहे हैं ये
themselves.
लोग। वो
Meanwhile,
ही ना
Nonshin
यार
Red Force
फाइट नहीं दिखा रहे हैं
actually
पता नहीं
getting
हल्की भी
vision
क्या
of
दिखा
their
रहे हैं अभी
entry
देख
point.
ये नोरा ये क्या कर रहे हैं नोरा सीधे जाके ऐसे
They're
कैसे
active as
स्लैप
well.
कर दिया
Alula on the other side.
No,
This
हो
is
रहा
a
है
ton
तभी
of
तो।
info for Nonshin and some extra points.
देख 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 देख
नाइस यार अच्छा होता रहा
Really
वे
good stuff.
वीआईटी
Double
के
spray
बंदों को
down
इसने
on the roll up is crazy even before they get anywhere close
Nice,
to the
bro.
compound itself. himself. And not a single
मेरा
dash of
जैसा
damage
spray
sent
इसका.
back his way. Very, very nice initial game here from Aurora, but they have a long way to go. Enigma Galaxy currently
तेरे स्प्रे में हमने देखा था रिकॉल पर बहुत जगह देखा था.
blasting bullets in as Alula holds back Flash. Over towards the water side. Aaron
That is zone.
waits for the reload to come through and then makes the cross. Good timing on that one.
बस गॉडल जोन में रहे और अपर एरिया मिल जाए उन्हें बस फिर तो कोई रोक ही नहीं सकता भाई
लेकिन आज गॉडलाइक ने 14 kills लिया पता है
वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम मैं आ गया पहला मैच है हाँ पहला ये राउंड कैसी है मैं बढ़िया हूँ अब बढ़िया हूँ रिकॉल हो गया ना गॉडल वाले साथ
जोन में भी है
डीओ के है वो उसका प्राइम बहुत खतरनाक है हो रहा था
अरे मान सामने ना इतने 40 अरे यार
पलक ने नॉक दे दिया
They want to live this game out. They are really giving a lot of teams liberties right now just to survive.
ये देख ये बैठा है अभी इन लोगों को नहीं बोलता कैंप रैंक कुछ बोलते हैं
हो जाएगा रिवाइव हो जाएगा ए एस पाउडर ना इतने 6 किल करे थे
हां 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 एडमिन भी कितना किल निकाला 4 और 5 निकाला था
मिस गॉड ने निकाला है 4 पाउडर फुल पंप है भाई यार पाउडर कह रहे आने दो
अरे टॉप को वो बंदा क्या डैमेज दिया
ना अरोरा का डिकॉक
top of the back seat because they came in with smash point
very
early on the first step.
अपना रिवाइव हो गया ना
got them a little bit. It went all
हो गया सौम्या ने नॉक करा बढ़िया एडमिन ने भी नॉक हो गया
Arena though.
बाबू आ जाओ सारे
अरे नहीं क्या कर रहे हैं बढ़िया 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 दो ना के वो लोग भी दो ना के
distance Manya up to the rock
40 कवर दे दिए दूर से हमें
Tony K
ले ले किल ले
अरे तुम्हें एटा बोरे नहीं
full broadside here Manya should be able to pick up this
नहीं यार नहीं अरे नहीं बढ़िया
आप तुम्हें फोन
अरे हो गया
फिनिश हो गया
एडमिन अकेला बचा है बस
अरे यार
ओजी नॉक हो गया
3 players up
Abbe
still for
yaar.
Arena looking to get further into this game. Admino might be able to go for the res if he goes for it now.
भाई कर दे यार प्लीज यार
They're going to sweep round the vehicle, try and figure out what's going on back there. S-Power
हो गया
still down north.
नाइस
To the drive
यार
information and that is not like out. So a good refresh on the gear at least for Arena. Some more
बढ़िया
nades
बढ़िया
available. They could swing back down towards that compound on the south side they held earlier on because this is a hard south shift.
कुछ भी हां कुछ भी मतलब
Arena getting thrown a bone here but still
In the midst of this, that elongated battle that's
कुछ भी मत बोलो
here between S2G and Ulf continues, edge guarding them coming out of the blue and keeping shots on target.
कोई नहीं चलो अकेला
ये S2G क्या है ये जोन में जाके क्यों मर रहा है इसने भी वैसे ही मर गया वो बंदा
There was some fighting over from non-shin onto OG inside Mehran as well. They were taking pot shots at them.
13 14 13 पॉइंट के लिए
खाना लेके आते रुक जा
4-5's consistently keeping their head on a swivel as well. They were
अरे हैशटैग 9 पे आए हैं 15 किल
yes they got some knocks but none of those converted into
बोल रहे हो छी
हाँ
तो मैं ये बोल रही हूँ इसलिए बोल रही हूँ कि मर गए हमें चिकन भी चाहिए था
It's very low HP, smoking now and on fire. They have to get out.
मर गया ये S2G भी मर गया
Same can't be said for all.
हो गया
सोचो जिंदा रहते तो अभी कितने और मार सकते थे वो
I think the Galaxy wanted to move round on that eastern side, see what they could pick up, but all those points have been
पोजीशन पॉइंट तो एक भी नहीं मिलेगा
जिंदा रह के चिकन निकाल लेते भाई
वो यार
हिस्ट्री का भाई सबसे बड़ा कमबैक होता है
actually they've got Joker as well as Schweppes playing the northwest edge whilst Mormon holds down the compound.
कसम यार बड़ा तगड़ा मजा आता है
here, Jackie.
See the conversations there between S2G. It's an intense day. Gotta clear the
ओजी ले ले भाई चिकन ले ले भाई
off the back of a game one like that.
60
Mormon did set himself up
ये
just
भी
as he
जिंदा है
suspected
बे
early and then have played a little bit more of a scared
हाँ
play
भाई
to
ये
keep
जिंदा
themselves
है
at least
भी
aware of what's occurring up between the setup of 4-5s and
इसमें थोड़ी ना
OG.
होते वो
There's been a
गड्ढा
lot of noise,
होता है
there's
क्या
free
इसमें
info from that.
मारने से?
हाँ
हाँ होता है
Don't mind this too much. Just trying to create a little bit of a dip to play
मैंने
around. As
कितनी बार
players
किया
will
है
attempt to leave from May round. That's
क्या
OG
करने
on
के
the
लिए
north
किया
side.
बता बता
Likely first to leave.
नो डाउट
गड्ढा
अगर ये
Play, but
इस
they know
फाइट
they're close
में
now.
ना
They know
पड़ते
they're
तो 20
close.
किल चिकन आ
As
सकता
soon as they
था
start
हाँ
getting
वही
into those
है
placement points, they get a couple
यही
more
खेलना था पहले
eliminations.
से
अरे
They're
अभी
set
जोन देखो
Their
पूरा
goal in this game
सब
बट
लोग
was
कुछ नहीं कर
कॉर्नर्स
सकते
पकड़ के
ना
far
बैठे
यार
हैं
अबे
easier
ये
than
देख
most.
कहाँ जोन में सही बैठी है एकदम
Not looking for that chicken dinner. Man, back up
ओ
into
जी पे है
Mayran. Goodness me, we went back down south, back up north,
जी
and
पे
now
है 40
Schweppes
पे
is going to go pick up
एनएस
Mormon.
भी है
ले
यार
Up
नाइस
by
आ
the
रही
roadside. Not definite this ends in the urban area.
हर पे
Enigma Galaxy might
OG भी ले
descend
सकते हैं
soon.
थोड़ा वेट करके
चुप
खेले ले
रहे
सकते
OG
हो
तूने
loses
जैसे
one
कहा
on a
फिर
knock.
बहुत नॉक हो गया
Not flush though. Fourth
कहाँ
live's
नॉक
looking
हुआ
fantastic
देख
अभी
लो
right
नॉक
now this
हुए
game.
ना
11 eliminations. Holding a strong
हैशटैग
2-2
2
split
आ जाएगी गुड
inside
लाइक
of Mayran, controlling both the run out
सोच
from OG
ओके
and
रिवाइव
मैच
हो गया
पॉइंट
scouting
लेने के
towards
बाद
Nongshim.
उन्होंने एक चिकन निकाल दिया
With Nigma turning their attention onto Flash, you can see Sweps
फिर
had
तो
already
मजा आ
had
गया
their
बेबी
fight
लो
set up
कम कर
from
देना
Odo.
लैपटॉप का
He
आवाज
was waiting for an opportunity to actually shoot some bullets their way. That was the call for it. No raw connection from this. He'll spots the tan on the rotate with the vehicle as well. Still debating if he can actually get some pot shots here, trusting in his
गाइस
fourth from
प्रेडिक्शन तो मैं
distance.
कह रही हूँ 40 का
And this is
चिकन
also
है
amongst Zalula that are pushing up onto 4-5s. They knew they were fighting OG. They took a few pot
मैं
shots,
बोल
but
रहा
मैं
हूँ
कह रही हूँ
tried to
40
take
का
at
है
least a little bit more
40 का
aggressive
चिकन है
pace
NS
off them.
एनएस भी मार सकता है 4-1
Enigma
स्टैंड
Galaxy in a struggle position.
40 का
E
चिकन
Arena
है
can play very slow here. They don't
इस
have to
पूरे
do
उसमें
too
मुझे जो
much.
दिख रहा है ना वो यही दिख रहा है
Ralph already down there. Should go down to the play zone. Enigma Galaxy is going to try and go for that southern push on this one. Like you said, Schweppes identified their position very early. The shots are coming
अरे
through.
40
They
को
don't
कुछ
want
दे
this
रहा है
place to be
वैसे
stolen from the players inside of Mayran. Schweppes
हाँ
opens
ये
up.
वाला मार रहा है क्या
Looks like those points might be going another way. Nongshim getting
निगमा
some
गैलेक्सी
great
कहाँ गई
damage
रे
just
ये
playing into
अच्छा
that
एकदम
engagement between
ऊपर में जाके
Alula
लेट
as well
गई
as Flash there. Gonna be longer nades on this one though, Jackie.
Decent
गया
shot. That one might
हो
be
गया
good.
अरे
Bounces into the back. It's chipped
कैसे
out
बच गया
edge,
ये
but no conversion. Ooh, bursting just in front
हाय
of the attack.
साहब
They've got one smoke to try and pop. Hey, this is dastardly. You
निगमा
are
गैलेक्सी
trapped in
कितना
a
बच
hellish
रहे हैं बे
position whilst the other squads are scrapping through each other. So the lobby's starting to thin here.
थोड़े
अरे
पिक्चर
खुदा का
रखना है
वास्ता
यार
नाम ना
It's
लो
tempting for E
रिजो
Arenas just to push this. Getting
कसम
in
से मतलब
towards
मजाक से हट के मुझे ऐसा
sixth
लग रहा है
place, right?
सही में
Very
मजाक
close to
से
that
अब ये
point
आज
with two
मजाक से
eliminations. You could just sack your game here to go for it.
40 का भी तो 11 किल है ले
Joker's
सकते
going to
हो
try and get a different angle on this one, move up over towards Mormon, put some more emphasis over towards Mayran.
मैंने
क्यों रही है
मैंने
If we go
गुड़िया
a
बनाई
little
है
bit further
गाइस
south here, the game actually does
पिन
open
चुबा
up
रही
for E
हूँ
Arena
चुबा दे जल्दी
mainly.
चुबा
पिन नहीं
Fourth
है यार
Rifles
यहाँ
दिखा
have
के
the
चुबा
capability of leaving from this area. Wonder how
अरे
many
तेरी
players
जुबान
have still
पिन
got
से कम है
left
क्या
रुक जा
with the tires in play.
जुबान से काट
ओए
Yasser will take
क्या
down
कर दिया मैंने
Bozy, and that's
कुछ
the
तो
end
कर
of
दिया
Flash. I mean, Nongshim Red Force has been consistently peppering that
अबे यार
engagement, but it is
पिन नहीं है
Alula
यार
who's
गाइस
got
यहाँ पे
away
ना
with the majority of the points on that one
जुबान
with
से काटना
11.
इसके कान में बोल देती हूँ तो टिकट
Yeah, there's been a lot of harassment of all of these squads
16वें
from
नंबर पे
Nongshim
आ
and
गए
4-5s, consistently taking pot shots out, making the fights more uncomfortable for either team
देखते हैं
involved.
गाइस मैंने
For
नई
E
गुड़िया
Arena,
बनाई है
if Nongshim actually keep this up in terms of a safe placement in the zone, some big plays,
मेरे मुंह के
they might
बराबर है
need to shut them down. Going to pull slightly away from their
जिस
setup,
टीम
though,
के
centering up around the
122
4-5s
पॉइंट्स हो
crew of E
जाएंगे
Arena,
वो
knowing
विन हो
they can
जाएगी
advance a
और
little bit
मैच
on
भी
this.
नहीं होगा
अभी भी
अरे
जोन
विन
है
नहीं
रे
होगी
ओजी का
Fourth
पास
चिकन लेना
forward.
पड़ेगा
Get a chicken dinner here. You set yourselves
उनको
up to
चिकन लेना
get
पड़ेगा
potentially
बस
into Smash ruling by match 2, by the end of match 2. Very cool to see both E Arena and Nongshim Red Force. None of it was small talk at the start of the day. We're certainly looking to make it very, very difficult for any other team immediately
कहाँ
going
फेंक
into
दिया
match
मैंने
2.
अरे ये
Putting a
लोगों
worry
को
on requiring teams
क्यों
to keep
क्यों
tabs
दे
on
रहा है
them,
इतना
potentially even hunt
ये
them
लोग
down to
बात
keep
करते
their tournament alive. Because as soon as they smash, the game's finished. There's no
मान
longer
ले
any more opportunity
ये लोग का
to
122 पॉइंट हो जाएगा और ये चिकन
OG versus
you currently stand.
अगला
120 के बाद वाले मैच
अगला मैच
122 के
Such a
बाद
big pop up here.
ये को मार दो भाई
सेकंड वाला दे दिए चिकन तो
गाइस मतलब सही में मुझे ऐसा सही में लग रहा है
Showing that they're handy with the steal.
मजाक से हटके गाइस अभी मजाक नहीं कर रही मैं सही में 40 का चिकन
Try as they might.
मैंने बात कर लिया
फलक ने
फलक का टीममेट नहीं नॉक कर दिया उसको
वो तुम्हारी टीम में कतार आ गया बे
फलक को फिनिश कर दिया आरो ने बढ़िया
दुश्मन तुम्हारा T24 दुश्मन है भाई हमारी टीम से खेल रहा है देख रहे हो उसको मैंने आटा चावल का वास्ता दिया वो खेलने लग गया भाई
Always praise Falak's gunplay. Basically a legend in close quarters, so to lose him in an urban finish,
खुद के बंदे को
disastrous result here.
वॉइस बढ़ाओ यार
We'll
किसकी
find R3B. To send a nade over the top immediately to confirm.
वॉइस कम आ रही है क्या
I was going to say that is a long lob on that one. By this time it's a bit more difficult to hit that
अरे
one.
सही में यार मुझे कसम से लग रहा है चिकन है
He's getting picked up though, off in the distance as OG moves in, but it's Joke from the sidelines actually finding Aru. They're consistently harassing from this outside edge. Play that compound down towards the south side, and then just playing off this ridge side around the road, but ooh, it is time to leave now.
Gonna have to force the issue. Jump back behind the driving wheel and get into
ये
the
लोग
zone.
क्या कर रहे हैं रैंक पुश कर रहे हैं क्या 40 लोग
because you were just completely cut off from all angles. The
अबे
backline's
ओजी
covered by
वालों को
Eerie,
भाई
the
हर
nades from
तरह
the
से
front
पड़
in
रही
from
है यार
4-5s. They
ये
cannot peek
अपने
in any
आपस में
regard.
तो लड़ मर लो
He's going in crazy. Okay, into the building. 4-5s ready for it.
ये लगाओ पर मैं अंडे दे रही थी तुम्हारी टीम के अंडे दे रही है क्या यहाँ बैठ
Under the rug. Goodbye, good night. T24 with the nade from the top. He sees Joker, but it's all
का चिकन है भाई मैंने बोल दिया
onto Wizcon in the meantime as well as Yasha falls to Hyunbin. It's all turning into carnage.
More man, last left alive here.
और क्या करे यार 40 हाँ अपनी टीम की बारी आई तो और क्या करें हमारी टीम को देख लो हमारी टीम का भी तो बोलो 40 का चिकन
One more elimination would also do the trick. They want to get themselves up towards 5th place, but it would be so awful to go into match 2 1 point away from Smash ruling. Does not have a position to play though. Everyone's completely looking his way. Might have been better to hedge his bets down towards Nigma Galaxy and just try and take a one-on-one trade. Just wonder if they actually know how many points they've currently garnered on this game and how close it gets them. You'd expect them to, right?
And honestly, for 4-5s, it's probably worked out in a way without charging. Oh, no! Made the nade on Mormon. Okay, goodbye you.
Oh, they're on it. They're on it. So it was. 6 places fine.
40 का चिकन है गाइस मैंने कह दिया मान लो मेरी
They're safe for now.
ये वाले ने exact 120 पॉइंट में मरे
And with Schweppes charging into that compound, he gave them some extra ammunition. They were having to make concessions, Blank.
अरे अभी उन्हें 80 rounds of 5.6
left for us. They've been able to restock.
नहीं
though, still making plays, and they've got loads of ammo to spray with. Shots down on target from XCY. Hits onto another man. OG, you have just been trapped, taking punch after punch for so long. The punch drunk in the back line.
For Nongchin Red Force is where all
lines
converge. Chicken dinner would be ideal, but a few more eliminations and a second place would get them in towards that position. A pitch battle between Nongchin Red Force as well as E-Arena. Going straight into match 2. Good nade over the top from AKOP. Opens up the door here for them to move in. Hazaifa leading onto this one. Just Wizcon. Goodness me, Nick Galaxy still going. It's Lord of all people. Finally taken out, but top 3 now. Nongchin Red Force ever closer to a chicken dinner. And set themselves up alongside with E-Arena at the top.
The solo savagery was nice to watch, but now it all goes down to the 2 squads that were in a prime position Rondo for so long. The duo of 4-5s versus the full force of Nongchin. They charge up onto the compound. T24 top side. Zypher rearming himself. Shotgun to play with if they come charging through the door.
Oh,
So easy. Dashes the nade onto the lower levels. Wants to ascend up. Nade in. Masking some of the sounds. So easy to peek this. Looking for the third angle. Just through the window. Catches a glimpse, but they read it right. They try and keep him pinned back. He's got to heal.
Except why, got to be a good nade through the window.
अरे nice nade. एक zone में मर गया बढ़िया हो गया ले क्या मैंने बोला ना
अब एनएस या ये एक चिकन मारो
Nonshin have seen red, and the aggression has come out when it's needed. Fighting harder, pulling out huge eliminations on Rondo, and still playing so consistent with their setups. Really technical back well from yesterday. Last Miramar into first Rondo. Nongshim is just a different beast coming into these last 2 days of finals.
40 ने ओजी को पेल दिया अरे यार पीछे से आके कैंप करके मार के जाते हैं उसके बाद कहते हैं
you're in the finals. It's getting nerve.
कल देखा ना कैसे के मारा ना एकदम पलक को पलक में दे डाला था उन्होंने
They don't look rattled.
पालक पनीर में डाल के दे दिया
नेक्स्ट मैच अगर ये या एनएस
EWC over
क्या ही कर सकते हैं भाई
ले
अब पे रास्ता है खुश हो जाऊंगी भाई मैं अगर ये और एनएस को देख सकती मैं ना
And if they keep this up, like there's a decent chance they damn well do it.
एनएस वाले को टारगेट करेंगे ताकि वो चिकन ना कर पाए
Good to see you guys as well. Lord stepping up right at the end there.
गोल भी कौन रहा है
Making some more aggressive plays, which is great to see.
कम से कम एक कमरे में बैठ के अंडे तो
I think E-Arena panicked a little bit.
नहीं baby girl
Losing for lack for fourth rise was a fairly big deal.
इस बार को कॉल करके बोलो वैसे ही खेलो लेकिन थोड़ा देख के खेलो बोल के कॉल करो
करती हूँ
Galaxy also was very resilient that game. Get what they did from where they were playing, so difficult, and then Lord able to sneak his way in.
I love
you were
this
picking up Lord earlier into the tournament, right? Saying it's the fact that you've got Coops and Lord. That sort of collective in unison that's doing so much for this team. And again, in a situation where it felt like you were out, Lord goes off with a solo shenanigans. Oh yeah.
Hey, do you know what that is?
He's got the Brandon on the go, mate.
That is the stamp to get into the winners club. Nongshim fighting. We'll be back soon.
I'm Rick, producer of PUBG Mobile. For the past 8 years, PUBG Mobile has continued to grow together with players around the world. And even today, we are still fully committed to this battleground. We are continuing to invest more resources, improve the experience, and bring PUBG Mobile to more players in more ways. Today, I'm excited to share something important with you. New app, PUBG Mobile Lite. First, PUBG Mobile Lite is not about making a smaller game with a smaller experience. It's about maintaining the high quality PUBG Mobile standard while giving players a lighter and more accessible way to play. We know that different players have different needs. Some players want the full PUBG Mobile experience with the richest content, all sorts of highly quality gameplays, and everything the game has to offer. For those players, PUBG Mobile will continue to be the best choice, but some players want to jump into battle faster, save more storage, and reduce the burden on their devices. That is why we are creating PUBG Mobile Lite.
What makes Lite
is a lighter version of PUBG Mobile, built for players who want a faster, more flexible way to enter the battleground. The initial download is only 1 GB on Android and under 2 GB on iOS. There is no extra mandatory purchase before your first match. Once the download is complete,
आगे मजा आता है बेटा आगे से
get straight into the battleground. We also made PUBG Mobile more flexible. You can choose which extra modules to download based on how you like to play. At the same time, PUBG Mobile Lite is still connected to the PUBG Mobile experience. The classic Arango map, supplies, and core combat are designed to match
लीडरबोर्ड
PUBG
लेवल्स
Mobile,
दिखाता है
so the battle experience will remain
अरे
authentic
जाओ
and
चिकन करके आओ पहले
uncompromised. If you already have a PUBG Mobile account,
पहले चिकन
One
करो
before एक बार तो
PUBG Mobile
पहले
Lite,
चिकन
your
करो
own items
1v4
can
करो
carry
तगड़ा
over.
वाला
So you
जैसे
can
पावर
continue
ने किया था
using
ना
the outfits
तगड़ा
you
वाला
love.
तगड़ा
You
वाला
can also
तगड़ा
team
वाला
up with your friends
चलो
on
मत
PUBG
बराबरी
Mobile,
करो
so your squad can
चलो
stay
मत
together
बराबरी
with
करो
no social barrier. Going forward, PUBG Mobile Lite will
एक
stay
चिकन लेकर आओ फिर मेरे से
alongside
आके
PUBG
बात
Mobile,
करो
so players
समझ में आया?
can enjoy new content together.
NS
वीडियो
ने
कॉल कर
मैच
रही है
कर
मेरे को
दिया अब
Home
NS
office
चिकन
will launch
करा तो
PUBG
जीत
Mobile
जाएगी
Lite
और
later
ये
this year. Please stay
Rizzo,
tuned
पॉइंट है
for
हाँ
more updates, and you can
ये
pre-register
बेबी गर्ल एक
in
वीडियो
the
कॉल कर रही है
store
मेरे को
from August
उठा
25th.
क्यों नहीं रहा
Whether you are
उठा
discovering PUBG Mobile for the first time or
उसको
returning to the
बाजू में कोई
battleground, we are excited to
तो
welcome
तू
you
उठा
to
क्यों नहीं
PUBG
रहा
Mobile Lite.
शर्म आ रही है
Winner, winner. See you on the battleground.
We will see you on the battleground. PUBG Mobile Lite pre-register August 25th at Max. I know you'll probably end up making a video about it on your Instagram, which is what? Remind me again?
Those Maxman casts right now on Instagram. But no, I get comments. I'm not joking. Every
भेजना
single
बेबी
day
गर्ल
about PUBG Mobile Lite. When it's coming back? When it's going to get an update? It's getting an update later this year. Oh my goodness, the world is going to be loving some more PUBG Mobile action.
100%. I'm excited for
बाबू
both of you guys
भेजना
are, but
मेरे
I'm
को भी
excited for the match that we just had here. Because E-Arena definitely able to cross that
लड़का वाला
threshold
कुछ
for being
तू
in
जो
this
लड़की वाले
match.
देख रही हो
I mean, they truly analysed the situation. They had every opportunity to get rid of NGX from that, I guess, southern side of zone. But no, they kind of already knew that they did enough to hit the threshold. And I mean, it was kind of all to Mormon's sort of intel on OG and Fourth Rise. They had quite a bit of line of sight on them, their position in zone, but incredibly calculated from them. But of course, we gotta talk about the tippity top Fourth Thrives right now.
We do gotta talk about Fourth Rise because we were expecting
Zero,
aggressiveness
zero,
out of this
zero.
team. And
zero
boy, did we get it!
Boy, did we get it! Fourth Thrives coming in hot.
zero
Today.
zero Discord link चाहिए क्या ले साला चाट
Exactly what I wanted to see from
जीरो
them.
में बैठे
Did
हो
they
ना
slow
चुप
down
रहो
just
एकदम
slightly when I
बोलो मत मुंह मत खोलो मेरे आगे चिकन लो चलो मत बराबरी
said
करो
yesterday they still can do it. If they have a day like they
Discord
just had in
link.
this run though, if they continue doing that, they still can do it.
Especially when you have a player like IQ, the IGL of this squad, putting up the numbers, performing for this squad and clutching up. But we also got to talk about Notch and Red Force because they were the winners of this match, Max, and they played that out perfectly. And I think they might have been able to also pass that threshold.
Yeah, no, of course, GG4 Thrives, but Nongshim Red Force doing so much parkour in the city, swiping every other team.
दे रही हूँ भाई दे रही हूँ रुक जाओ चलो मत
Under the rug, and actually they're trying to aim for 122. I believe they did make it. We'll check out the leaderboards very soon. But Nongshim Red Force giving E-Arena an absolute run for their money, and it is so rare to see two teams on the very first game enter the Smash Zone. It might have just happened today.
It might happen today, and something that might happen today is that we might see teams that might not be challenging for that first place, putting up great performances, and we saw that exactly out of Godlike. This squad came to play. This squad has absolutely nothing to lose, Slays, because they were going after elimination. Actually, before we even talk about Godlike, I want to see what the overall is looking like, where the teams are currently standing, how far away some of the other teams are from there. Nongshim Red Force is actually in first place with 123 points. Now we have two teams that are able to win in the next match.
Oh my goodness, by the way, E-Arena should also be colored, I'm pretty sure, because they are also in the Smash Zone. You just need to get above all time 122 points. So if Nongshim Red Force or E-Arena now, get a chicken dinner, that's it, tournament over, and we will be crowning our champions.
I know, and it's so incredibly exciting because both of these teams, especially when it comes to those sort of placement points, look at Nongshim at 40 placement points, E-Arena with 34. They have every opportunity and drive to be able to secure that chicken dinner. Now, Seven, you asked me a little bit about Godlike, which I know was on the second page, and the reason we want to highlight that is because they were sort of sitting more under that middle threshold. There were 10 eliminations early game. Another 4 as they sort of rotate in on that northeast side. And then S-Power recovering the team to bring them back in. But I want to give like a kind of a little special shout out to Nino having an absolute banger of a game too. I think it was about 7 eliminations just by themselves, and they were able to sort of scout the whole game and just put like 15 elimination points on the board is insanity, especially from where they were sitting earlier today.
But I want to check real quick the rankings. We did see for a quick second there. 11 points away for 4th Thrives now, jumping around from the middle pack. 11 points away from top 3. The comeback is happening.
This is what I keep saying. This is what I keep
Because this team, I actually got a chance to talk with for life. If you want to check that out, go to my Instagram at the 7WG. But we're now seeing the race to smash. There you go. You see 4th Thrives 23 points away, which this is a perfect start for that team. Getting more than 15 eliminations, getting in the top 2, and now they are just 23 points away. And if we know anything for this squad, with the way that they're playing, with what we have seen out of them in PMGO Season 1 this year, they could make it in the next match, as long as one of the 2 teams on the top don't end up winning it.
Exactly, yeah. So this is the case, this is the scenario where, you know, neither of those teams, Nongshim or E-Arena, they don't win next match. We do go into game 3. If 4th Thrives are allowed another good win, I say allowed because we don't want any hot dropping going on. They might get targeted, you never know. However, if they're allowed one more game, if we do go into game 3, 4th Thrives need another top 5. They need another several points, 8, 9 eliminations. There we go. Another few of those, and they are in Smash ruling. They are a contender, and they can just do back-to-back global win.
And I think we did end up getting today Max made grenade on the day.
Did we now? It's time for your favorite segment of the day. It's Max Grenade of today. Let's check it out. Which play is going to be here? It's going to be in the city. This 4th Thrives. It's Falak over there looking for a KOP. He gets it done right away. The man is an absolute menace. But he's too much of a menace because T24 can take him down. Oh.
Give him a boom boom back to the lobby. It's Max Grenade of the day.
तुम्हारा background break कर पता चल रहा है कि
that was a great. We got the drums, we got the jingle too. But yeah, for that team, I mean, overall, it's a great start here for the final day of PMWC. EWC 26, a great performance out of those teams that we were expecting a good performance out of, right? We talked about already E-Arena having to do what they needed to do. Now Nongshim being able to show up when they needed to show up, starting off great here with the win as well. One thing that we do need to talk about is possibly this team's being targeted. When I say being targeted, I don't mean getting a hot drop right away. But we are going to be looking at those rotations, because if we look at E-Arena has 2 wins so far this PMWC in Erangel, and in the finals, E-Arena has already gotten 1 win in day 1, match 3 in Erangel.
Actually, I do want to say, I was talking to Kalaris earlier. Nongshim Red Force, they got back-to-back wins, right, on the island finish. So that's going to be something that you want to keep into mind also, because they did win PMWC by Smash ruling. Literally, all of the storylines are merging together in favor of the South Korean team of Nongshim Red Force. They could be looking fantastic. But of course, that's if E-Arena get a win, or if Nongshim Red Force get a win. But if Tura, we got to keep in mind, it's not Rondo anymore, it's no anymore, meaning the teams that are not currently in the Smash is going to be even more complicated for them to reach 122 points.
Oh, absolutely. And then you've got, you know, when we've seen this a lot of times in, you know, Smash last day, all of this sort of stuff, you do tend to see other teams actually go ahead and change their drop location to avoid getting targeted. But you're right, Seven, right? We are going to be looking at those rotations. We need 4th Thrives, we need Nongshim, we need E-Arena, we need Enigma Galaxy as well. All of those teams. Aurora did not have a good game at all, so they're still chasing that. They need to make sure their rotations are on point, that they use them just to avoid any early eliminations, because right now, it is now or never. We have 2 teams in Smash ruling. You do not want to take any chances going out early.
You're gonna have to use those spidey senses if you're currently at the top. If you're 4 thrives, you want to continue your frag out. Here you go. You can actually have it back now. Thanks so much for letting me go. If you're some of the other teams, E-Arena and Nongshim, you gotta watch out for everything going on your way. And I know right now around the arena, we do have a special guest rolling by.
पलक तक चल साथ मेरे पलक तक चल यार पालक पता है तुमको क्या होता है आशीष तुझे पता है पालक क्या होता है पालक
हाँ पालक पनीर वही है ना
ना वही
Spider-Man is officially back in PUBG Mobile. Some of you may remember the collaboration in 2022, and this time he's returning to Africa. Suit up and explore the brand new central square. You can move across rooftops, run across ceilings, and lock down enemy squads. But it wouldn't be Spider-Man without the powers. So, you can grab Peter Parker's gloves and you can web swing your way around the city, or you can even use your webs in combat to slow down or trap your opponents. And of course, there's so much to discover beyond the fights.
S-Power बस global MVP बन जाए मजा आ जाएगा. S-Power के आगे कोई कुछ बोल सकता है क्या? देखा नहीं कल 1v4 इतना sexy 1v4 था.
To secret clues to hidden surprises that you're going to have to find yourselves. And remember your favorite Spider-Man movies? Well, here's your chance to recreate those iconic moments.
Rizo.
तू मार खाएगी साली इधर क्यों नहीं आ रही है? यहाँ देख नहीं रही है जनता आ रही है एकदम.
By swinging away at the last second, or maybe you and your squad just stop everything to take the perfect Spider-Man shot.
बोल अरे तुम्हारा बाप या आशीष बैठा देगा एक बच्चा तुमने से कोई होगा.
So, if you haven't jumped in yet, grab your squad and experience Spider-Man in PUBG Mobile. Also, Spider-Man isn't only swinging around Erangel today.
बता दे इनको बता दे. कौन है? बता दे तेरा बच्चा कौन है?
We have got Spider-Man on stage right here with us right now, and he didn't come empty-handed. He's going to be handing out PUBG Mobile merch in and amongst the arena.
नहीं बाद में बताऊंगा बाद में.
हमें अभी जाना है. अरे गाइस अब अरे गाइस वाले आ गए. प्लेज वाइटी तुम ही हो मुझे लग रहा है आर्टिस्ट के बेटे सबसे बड़े वाले. अभी अपनी बार में अपने पेरेंट्स को मत बोलो ये मत बोलो अपने सब बोल रहे हैं उनको कुछ नहीं बोल रहा है. अभी बोलने में आ गया ना. अभी चुप रहो एकदम फिर.
Mayran and find their way to
that
अपने
ये छोटे बेटे को बोल हमजा को आशीष मैं बता रही हूँ मार खाएगा मेरे हाथ में.
and they just got across that line. It was surgical precision on that 122.
साला 2 रुपए वाले क्यों पहना? थोड़े बड़े वाले पहन लेता आशीष. रेट ले ले यार 5 रुपए वाले. 2 रुपए वाले तो मत पहन कम से कम.
Here to save the day, but we got 2 massive threats in the lobby now. We've got E-Arena and
RizoPlays ऐसा क्या है जो S-Power के पास है but पलक के पास नहीं है?
Right now with one single chicken dinner.
That's all it's going to take. Should just do it. Can they pull it out the back again? But it's not just those 2 teams. As the desk,
अरे पलक
and Jackie were saying before as well. There are other teams waiting in the wings now.
क्या बोल रही है?
They earned from the previous game from that Robo to jump into the smash zone. There are probably at least 6 teams that could do it this match and join them.
आंसर आटा. अरे आटे की जगह भी बहुत सारी चीजें हैं भाई जो पलक के पास नहीं है.
पढ़ना क्या बोल रहे हो?
पलक मुझे
रिजो वो पढ़ना वो पापा ने उसका मम्मी से उसका मतलब क्या होता है?
क्या बोला?
वो पढ़ना ऊपर वाले
That would be insane. At the same time, though,
क्या पढ़ा
right?
है? क्या लिखा
You
है?
gotta stop these two squads because if E-Arena or Noxious Red Force win right
पता नहीं
here,
कहाँ पे।
that's it. This
चलो
tournament
guys,
is
चुप रहो,
over,
मैच चालू हो
and
गया।
one of them is walking away with half
भाई प्लेस पे भी अगर
$1
मेरा
million.
मम्मी को कुछ बोल लिया ना मैं तेरी माँ छोड़ दूंगा मैं यहाँ के बता रहा हूँ मैं
कहाँ पर
क्लाउडे
लिखा
निकल जाए इधर से अरे उधर कुछ तो लिखा है मैंने पापा से कुछ तो बोल रहा है वो मैं
नाम
समझ
पता
नहीं आ रहा
I can't say, but
नाम
yeah,
पता
I
किसने
feel
लिखा
like that
है?
is the sort of situation where teams who are certainly below
अरे प्लेस वही थी ये
will really hard commit. They
Plays
find
YT
one of these
लिखा,
teams in a
Plays
fight.
YT,
The third
मैं पापा हूँ उसका मम्मी से पूछ लो उसकी मैंने शुरू नहीं किया था
It really does.
कुछ
I got a
तो
chance to talk tonight, as a matter of fact, the coach from Furia. And
अरे
because
तुम्हारी
in
मम्मी का
Brazil,
कॉल आया
these
था
guys
यार,
have had so
बोल रही
much
थी आशीष
practice
ले ले
when it
मेरी
comes
ले
to the
ले
Smash
ले ले
ruling. Furia themselves have smashed in multiple of their regional
क्लाउडे तेरे
tournaments. So
को
I was talking to them, I was like, hey,
बोल रहा हूँ मैं
Rizo
पहले
Plays
But
Zero
if you
Esports
see
Knowledge और
a couple
WATCHPARTY
teams in the
stream
Smash
कर रही
zone,
है।
will you guys go out of your way to take them out? And they said, well, at a
system
certain point we
और
have to.
बोलते हैं
You know what I'm saying?
हमारे
We know what's at stake. If we have to risk
Sorry,
a
sorry,
bad
guys,
game
sorry.
to ensure that we can
Unfollow the
continue in this
family,
tournament
I'm
to
sorry.
possibly come back, we're going to do it, right? So even if
बाप
it's a
को
crash
बाप
and we
रहेगा,
lose the fight, we're
बाप को
taking a
बाप
couple of those
रहेगा।
players with us.
ज़्यादा
So
बोलेगा अभी
the whole
यहाँ पानी वानी
lobby,
मत करवा
honestly,
दूंगी।
really needs to have that kind of same mentality because if you want to be able to move up the
और
leaderboards,
नहीं लो रहा
there
है ये
are
जो तुम्हारे पास
massive
नहीं
jumps
है।
in prize pools as we go from 3rd, 4th, 5th place. So you want to be
जो
able to stay
तुम्हारे
in this
पास नहीं
tournament
हो
as long as
कभी भी नहीं हो
possible. And this one's going to be a fun one. We got a nice Eastern Circle.
I don't know about nice. It's certainly an Eastern Circle, though. It's going to push all the way
तो
out towards
Insta-ID दे
Milta,
अपनी
east of it,
personal में
and
आज।
Milta Power. Lepovka's in there as well. A lot of water here, Jukes.
आशीष नाम है।
So that is going to be tricky to
मेरी
navigate.
follow
Nick the Galaxy will not be getting hot drop currently,
Only
but
40
might try and step in.
चाहिए
Ida
hurdle
clashing
को।
with Tianba
40
over on the western side.
दो मैचेस
Very,
में आ
very close
सकते हैं
drop.
भाई।
And of course, we got
सकते हैं, but
our big threat
ज़्यादा
lobby on a
तेज़
bike.
साथ
Finally
चुका।
finding a vehicle
ये
here.
लास्ट मैच है।
And
क्यों है
they're going to
लास्ट
go ahead and be
में?
looting
अरे जब
all
ये
this
और
north
एनएसटी
side
कप निकालेगी
of
तब ही
Georgetown
लास्ट मैच है,
hospital
वरना
area.
चलते रहेगा।
And since
अगर
it is
ये और
such an
एनएसटी
Eastern
की
Circle,
कप
right, I
नहीं
wonder
हुआ।
how much these teams are
कुछ
going to be
मतलब
kind of
वरना
even thinking about
6 होगा ना,
possibly
6 मैच ही होगा ना
a
रिजो।
rotation camp,
क्या?
things like that are going to start coming into play
6
here.
मैच ही होगा ना।
And
नहीं अगर
man, this
एनएस
is,
और ये में
this
से
is
अभी
gonna
एक
get
में चक्कर
intense.
निकाल दिया
Yeah, a
दोनों।
lot of teams looking to put
वो
pressure
जीत
on
जाएंगे।
as the fight in near Gatka between Ida and
मतलब अगर
Tiamba is
नहीं
still
निकाला
popping off. Remember,
एंड
this is
तक
an
इन दोनों में
adjustment
से
from
किसी
Ida
ने
to move
और
out this way with the playing path
जो
as south
पहले
as it
रहेगा
was.
टॉप
They are
1
going to
में
get
वो
stuck
जीतेगा।
straight in with Tiamba, and neither
ये
team is
बहुत
looking
घटिया
super happy
रूल है
about it.
भाई, कसम
Aching
से।
on the inside of the building,
गए
Sway
गए
on the
गए
top
गए
floor
कौन
now
है?
has Eagle to contend with as
और
well.
आईडी
Drops a
Tiamba।
nade down to the ground floor. He tries to fend off the remaining two players. QZZ unlikely to get picked back up here. Does bleed out in the end. And a step forward. Sway
Very
the buffs.
nice।
One more
Oi।
barrel, but it's not enough to blast
गया।
it back. Tiamba
दो
survived,
अंडे
but with
खा
only
गए।
2
आईडी
players,
गया।
Aurora can just move in and maybe just sweep this one through. A very strange hot drop coming through over on Gatka.
Terrible. I mean, honestly, Ida's disrupted this lobby so much, and Tiamba are devastated. Now down to just 2 single players.
और
Aching
और
jumps
एक
out, just
चार जल्दी
desperate,
थर्ड पार्टी
trying
करते
to
हैं
do
भाई।
something for his squad, and Eagle is just standing still,
बाप
just
रे,
saying,
एक ही बचा
like,
है
not like this.
अरे
Not
ये
like
ऐसे क्या
this.
बैठा था बे?
Aurora have been a little bit quieter during the course of these
मानना
finals. Not the
पड़ेगा
fans,
भाई
that is, the
इनको।
players.
हो रहा
The fans have
कितने
been
आगे
plenty
जल्दी हो
loud
रहा
and
है
we loved it,
अरे
but
हो रहा बार
they
में
haven't
नंबर
quite had the performance that
पे
we were maybe expecting from them coming into the games in these finals. It's not quite good. It's not going to be enough. I don't see them catching up when we've already got 2 teams in that smash zone. It is a bit unfortunate. It is not great, but they can look pretty good in game. We know that. And one of the ways that you can look good in game at home is with the Naruto skins. Make sure you're heading into game to pick up the character sets, the Ninetales Fury org, and you can look as good as anyone taking on those ninja challenges.
Yeah, get that ninjutsu going. And honestly, yeah, it seems like Aura, OG, they're going to need to bust some of that out if they want to be able to make a crazy run for it. Mathematically, it is still possible, right? If Aura, they start with 3, they're going to need a 21-point game here, a 20-point game in the next one, and maybe even another one after that. It's triple back-to-back. It's triple back-to-backs, you know what I'm saying? We still have enough games to do it. It's just going to be tough, especially considering that you got There's going to be quite a few teams in that smash zone very quickly here. That's if this game even continues on after this one. So a lot of different factors to play out. The problem also is the fact that we get later and later into this tournament, the desperation is going to raise tremendously, right? So the teams in the mid-pack are going to even start playing hyper-aggressive because they're going to know, right? Their coaches are going to tell them, hey man, look, you made it all the way over here to Paris, all right? You either get 20 points or this was all for nothing at a certain point, right?
Well, that's, I mean, there's still placements on the line and all of that sort of thing. I'm just looking at the map at the moment, and I'm seeing that Nongshim Red Force might be in their first fight in a moment, which is going to enlighten the rest of the lobby as to sort of where they're playing, what sort of conflicts they could be running into. 2-2 split across Milta right now for Nongshim, as they did not fully hold the bridge against Alola, so that crossing does come through.
अरे एडवांस पेन है ना वो अरे स्नैक्स ने बताया ना सॉरी स्नैक्स नहीं एंकी बोट क्या बोला कि जो टीम में कॉल्स रहता है ना वो कोच सुन सकते हैं हेडफोन से
ये का जोकर मटना चाहिए पहले बहुत खतरनाक खेलता है जोकर रिजो ये और एनएस को पनौती लगा दो 40 का चिकन है गाइस
down a player. The thing is, though, if any team nearby happen to hear those shots, they know where
NS के पास ये लोग आ गया.
But they are in a really good spot for this circle for now.
I mean, teams should be aware. It was Alola that they knocked, and Nongshim Red Force generally going to be in this sort of location. They'll know that Alola coming up from Novo.
पता नहीं कौन कर रहा है.
So it should be a pretty certain bead on it for a lot of teams in the lobby, but nobody is likely to send out this way. Maybe Aurora could try and crash into it and cause some problems. Vitality are actually holding the west bridge, which is interesting, over on that ferry pier side of things. So if Aurora decide, you know what, we're not going to go over to that east side, we're going to try and break west. Vitality is still lying in wait for it, which I'm not too sure about. I'm not sure if I like that.
Yeah, it's going to be tough here as you got some pretty wild rotations here. Wild rotations. We got NigmaGalaxy rocking their 2-2 split.
The same again.
Same again. You know, I actually talked to Ralph a little earlier this morning. Asked him, like, hey, you're going to continue to do it? They're like, yeah, you know, it's worked for us in the past. We're going to try it out. We've noticed that on the west side, had a little bit of unluck with some pretty crazy pushes. But we're going to give it our shot here, and we'll see if it pays off for them. I
mean, they did win a chicken dinner from a circle similar to this, on a rotation similar to this. Obviously, it was a different lobby. It was a different time. We were different people, Jukes. We were so much younger.
We've grown so much.
Yeah, exactly. We've come so far. But they're going to look for that regroup at some point. Getting through for that regroup is really the difficult part that we've seen for NigmaGalaxy on this regroup rotation. Getting through the glut of teams right now, I'm not too sure how that's going to work. They may have to go on the boat, maybe head up all the way north of the Popcorn and go all the way around. That would be maybe not sensible, but possibly. It's difficult, and they are going to get on the road right now to see what they could find. E-Arena are also starting their move in from South George. As we can see, we're on board of them, just passing the north side of school to head towards the center of this circle.
अगर NS और EMA से कोई डिनर गए तो खत्म है ना अभी.
Rotations are coming.
Guys, तुम लोग को एक चीज दिखाऊं क्या?
What kind of circle we're gonna get here? All right, just beautiful center up, very typical. A lot of these teams were expecting this, and they got it. Now you see NigmaGalaxy, right? They're going to be on both sides of this circle. It's going to be very difficult for them to get to their teammates here. So we'll see how this pays off. But we still got some teams still trying to get in this zone. E-Arena pushing in super late. Over there in North George. Aura still in Severny. And you got Vitality going on the other bridge here. So they're going to be super late in the circle.
इधर तो भेज दे मेरे को तो देखने दे.
I don't like it. I think this is way too long. You're overcommitting. No one's turned up.
क्या है क्या होता है? अरे ये versus Godlike.
For Vitality. It's not the same team we saw from their stages.
तो आपने बोला मैं दिखाऊं क्या मैंने बोला दिखा अभी बोल रहा नहीं तू दिखाऊं
which I'm sad to see. NigmaGalaxy, they get their back duo caught up in a regroup, and this is exactly what I was worried about. It's only going to be Lord, his vehicle's on fire, and he goes down because he hops out. As it's on fire, they lose the
अरे ये देखो
I guess, yeah, Ralph, keep doing that. See how that works out for you.
Yeah, I saw his player cam and I can
नहीं
see
ले
he's
OG ने kill उठा लिया बढ़िया
OG का ऐसा ही है
Why
भाई
are there players here in the middle of the circle?
How did I get knocked?
तो दिखा तो सही
That's super unfortunate. The 2-2 split, man. I mean, losing players like that is so rough. We'll see how it all continues on, though. That's if we have another match after this, because Nongshim Red Force are on the south side of Milta, full squad looking dangerous. On the other end, you got the other Titans of the lobby, E-Arena, holding down the north side. So both these teams able to secure position as a full four-man team.
A vice grip on the circle right now. And our teams will look to try and slip that. This is a replay on Lord getting knocked. You can see he drove up. It was actually the hop out that got him. He'd already taken enough damage and hadn't slowed down enough. He got down to the vehicle, kept that momentum, and it was the fall. He hit that ground a little bit too fast.
The ankles.
Just rolled the ankle, man. Rolled the ankle. And now Kutta and Satan have to do it all on their loans. It's a bad time. It's a bad time. I feel like it may have worked before. Teams maybe weren't necessarily expecting something like that, and they weren't looking for a duo to be rotating in such an early fashion. Especially because they know, oh, well, these players are lost, so it should be a full four come from there. But there's been enough games now when Enigma Galaxy have done this that teams should be like, oh yeah, that's what they do. Let's just...
You know, it's one of those strategies that I don't know whether to be... It's just one of those strategies that's just like, okay, it's different. You know what I'm saying? We don't see all those bad ones. Yeah. It's bad when it doesn't work, right? That's the thing. It's like, if it does, it's like, wow, maybe more teams should try this out. But after that, it's like, I think we just
chicken
you know what I'm saying? It's just unfortunate, especially considering they're in 5th place, man. If they would have got a 20-point game here, they would have been in that smash zone. Let's see where this next circle goes, though. And things are going to start heating up because we get a nice center of E-Arena are going to be over there in Lipovka, so they're going to fight their way into this game. As you mentioned, it is a vice script right now. North and southern side
पूरी टीम को लेके जाएंगे तो पूरी टीम मर जाएगा अगर करता हुआ वहाँ पे तो
हाँ समझा लेकिन
सिंगल बंदा जाने से पूरा चारों बंदा जाने से अच्छा सिंगल बंदा चलेगा
They can be able to hold a lot of real estate there.
That's true over on the east side, but I feel like they do need to move into the west edge of it a little bit further, which is exactly what Bo's decided to do there. They have to transition forward. The 3-building compound that sits sort of in front of them is viable, but it can be very difficult to hold against teams up on the north, especially if you get crashed. Multiple angles can crash into it as well, so a little bit tenuous when you have to leave that ridgeline for Team Flash. For Nongshim, they're going to play nice and isolated on the southeast side. Remember, it's not
golden
big scoring games that are necessary. That's not what's going to be weighing on the mind of Nongshim. But the arena, it is just that chicken dinner. Be the last player standing. That's the only thing that should be running through their mind right now to try and secure that tournament title, the global stage glory.
That's interesting. That's an interesting thought. And I hope it doesn't change their play style, because I'm thinking back to PMMI where Tiana had such a strategy. Like, hey, let's just put up some basic points. They had so many points, as long as nobody smashed, they were going to win it.
अबे क्या है भाई?
The price for it big time, going from what we thought was going to be an automatic
उसको कुछ ऑर्डर आ गया
to like 3rd
किसी ने
place.
भेजा
नहीं किसी ने नहीं
We'll see
भेजा
how Nongshim, who definitely learned from that, if they're going to replicate it or play the game that got them here in the first place.
मम्मी ने मंगाया था
40 versus VIT versus Gordon.
Ignite those afterburners, send them into the stratosphere on the point scoring. And now Fourth Rise want to keep that pace, but they're kind of cut out on this northwest edge. They are boxed in by that prison cliff area. They're going to have to pick a direction and commit. Towards Vitality may be a good idea to start, but you've got Godlike behind that, and maybe Ulf on the top, on the lip of those prison cliffs could be a target as well. But either way, it feels like a third-party target.
I can't lie, I'm so hyped for Godlike right now. After seeing that Rondo match, they put up so many points. If they would have won that fight with E-Arena, they would have, who knows where they'd be on the leaderboards here. But they put themselves in a good position. They're still in 10th place, 72 points. They're going to go for the back-to-back chicken dinner. They realize it, like, hey, we got to get it done here. If they do, it would be the comeback of a lifetime.
Golden elimination,
their fans are excited.
Oh, yeah.
Waiting for this next zone. And it's gonna go on over to the northeast side. And which team gets
ये हो रहा है शायद से एक गाड़ी ऐसे कैसे जा रहा है
ओजी पे जोन है भी ओजी
it helps them out.
अरे मान्य जा रहा है
ओजी से फाइट कर सकती है
in a little bit of a dangerous position, especially with Horror descending on them. Look at that eastern sweep. That could be dangerous. That could be trouble. As Coops takes a knock in the meantime as well on the south side, bleeding out another player. Not good news. But Horror, look at a crash maybe towards E-Arena. I do think it is Team Flash that has been the most blessed by this zone, though. On that northeast side, it's exactly what you highlighted, right? That ridge line, the buildings in front of it, really, really good. But only if it goes out their way. Well, guess what? Here we are. And now S2G try and push it. They're being denied access. As Horror clutch with 4 times. Okay, they go out over the north side of prison. And they're third party on the rotate here on the north.
Fights happening all over the place. Now we're going to be looking at Enigma Galaxy. Satan all by himself. Going to be challenging Al-Ula here. As we switch over. Fourth rise get eliminated. That is a huge loss. Right before the 100-point mark. There goes Enigma Galaxy as well. That's 50.
I hate you, G.
And now Aurora up. Trying to swing as Horror picking up those points is a great result for them. 7 eliminations now on the north side, right next to E-Arena, who take a knock as well. S2G taking damage from every single angle. Will do a lot of damage to them, but S2G managed to weather that storm. A lot of damage across the board on these rotates, Jukes.
And then here we go. We're going to catch this fight here. It's S2G. Aussie on the other end. Now finally the fight has calmed down, but this is a battle for the central position in this circle.
I mean, this is another team, S2G, who is within reach of that smash point barrier up to 122, but they have just had the win, taken out their sails.
आतंकी ने मार सकते हैं
They need to get 9 more points on this match, and with 11 more teams alive as a solo kamikaze, has he got something magic up his sleeve? I do not think so. We're just going to leave Aurora to really be the only challengers to that smash point duo.
And Aurora are definitely super easy for them to get in this kind of position.
Nice.
Through it though. CS Power getting a knock from Godlike. They're down to 2 players.
अरे Vizgod ने स्क्वाड को नेट पे मार दिया.
Get that confirmation on 2 Power. Only 1 player up left for Godlike.
अरे यार
अरे वो अभी आ रहा है भाई.
All over the ridge line there on the shoreline. But Mormon's been spotted. Okay, Sky is still coming. The arena not safe yet, not out of the woods. There's Godlike and Orangutan still continue to clash. Up the stairs, Godlike. Look for it, but the drop down is caught. And there's the crash. You want to take one down?
अरे ये मर गया बालिया.
Only one team can stop it all now.
अरे एक बंदे बचे.
With a big opportunity on the south.
अरे ये मर गया ठीक है यार. ये इन लोगों को यार ओजी यार क्या कर रहे हो यार?
It's still up to Nongshim Red Force though. They're on the south side, playing carefully, waiting in the shadows to strike. It's only a matter of time here. Yeah. You guys fight it out.
कुछ कर सकती थी ओजी
कोई ना यार ओजी को समझना चाहिए ना भाई.
Big south shift
and
Aurora. Look, they're already in those vehicles. Wanting to keep Overwatch on the angle as well. Maybe take some shots out that way. How fast are Nongshim going to be able to mount up?
मेरे को पता अगर नेट डाल दिया उसको पता चला कि वो गॉडलाइक लोग किस देते ना.
एनएस कितना वेट करके खेल रही है.
The Deadwood is so hard to navigate. There are these really tricky defilades, and there are players lying in wait.
Speaking of lying in wait, yeah, you can see Nongshim Red Force. They don't want to give away their position. They don't want the lobby to know where they're at right now. So very, very quietly stealing the replay sweeps. Popping them out the vehicle. But the crash of Aura, so strong here.
यहाँ पर कंपटीशन करके क्या ही करोगे?
Huge fight for the whole lobby.
I love 40.
Absolutely.
The
arena remain on 122 as well. Doesn't mean they don't win it all next match. They are still in the smash boundary.
Yes, they are.
So even if Nongshim get 30 points and don't win the chicken dinner, they could still take it all away with a 0 E-limit.
Aurora want to put themselves in the smash zone here now, though.
Oh, yeah.
Here they go. They're going to start pushing. Trying to find a position. They got the wizard tower. Are they going to take it? Nope, pass it up and just siding over this hill line here. Good strategy. Gotta be careful.
देखो उन लोग का टीम नंबर तो एक ही होगा ना, स्लॉट नंबर तो सेम ही होगा. देखो बनते हैं पीछे भाग जाओ.
अरे जब एक फिनिश हुआ तब तो समझ आना चाहिए ना, तब तो मत रश करो.
They're going
to have
Difference
to pick a point to
only
go, and I
how
feel
many
like Team
points?
Flash can be taking shots
OG
right
have
now.
61 and they have
And fairly quickly, someone is going to look to crash Team Flash. I can guarantee you that at some point in this match. Yeah, but it may be a little bit longer than we were anticipating. I mean, as I said, the Deadwoods have a lot of those defilades, the hills that slope down from the top of this ridgeline. This tree cover has a lot of rocks to play around. You can sort of stuff your way forward a little bit. But later on, you're going to have to find something. Spot over on the dock. They know who they're fighting now.
Well, they will once that thirst happens.
There it
And
is.
there it is. So now they know 100% Nongshim Red Force is right here. Aurora are going to put every single amount of their resources to make sure they can stop them.
It may well be worth it with all the teams around them going down fairly quickly. Just sitting here waiting for Nongshim to roll out, stepping through, sacrificing shots to Team Flash. They may look to try and just block the road, shut the door in the face of a smash victory here in match number 2 today, match 14 on the series.
होरा का कमबैक आ गया अबे एनएस का चिकन ना निकल जाए मैं तो ये बोल रही हूँ भाई
they are on the edge of the circle. That broken wall is covering them for now, but this next zone is going to make things interesting. But here we go with a huge battle.
ले अब मारना ओजी वाले मार अब क्यों नहीं मार रहा है
अरे हो गया
Bad looks good. That should get a confirmation. It does it some way somehow. Bad nade there, but all of a sudden
बस ले मर गया
they are able to get some knocks. Silence is going to go into the building.
हट यार मजा ही मैं बंद कर दूं भाई मैं नहीं
से 2 फुट गया बढ़िया
मेरा इंटरेस्ट खत्म हो गया
little by little he gets
इनसे
away
अगर
with
मर
just
गए ना
1
ये
HP.
लोग
अरे 1v4 we scored 1v4
Strikes back against Fury, but now Horror here, and he's got a sliver of HP to play around with. They'll know he's here, and Fear rolls over the top of the hill. What? He didn't see him.
एनएस मर गया शायद से
Will take the shots, but not find the knock. And he will be put down. In the meantime, the rollout from Nongshim.
And here they go. Nongshim Red Force. Team Flash knocks out easy. It's up to the 2 players.
एक बंदा हो गया बस
XZY trying to regroup
मेरा
now.
नेट बहुत है अरे मेरा नेट
He may be able to sneak his way into the dip. And Aurora.
अभी नेट का बारिश हो रहा है नेट का बारिश हो रहा है वहाँ
Charge in headlong. Nades first.
दो बंदा
चलो मत बराबर हिट करो
Retribution. Draw this
गया एनएस गया
without a smash point victory.
Aurora throwing an absolute
अरे दोनों साइड से
onto
नेट वेट आ
Nongshim
रहे
Red
थे
Force. They know they're the threat. They're going to use every single piece of utility they have to finish this team off once and for all.
ले भाई अबे कितने नेट डाल दिए भाई
Vehicles are getting moved out the way though. That's the coverage that Nongshim Red Force
अरे
desperately
नहीं
need.
और तो किसी और ने ना
जानबूझ के इनको टारगेट कर रहे देख लिए इनका एनएस का बंदा है
Starting to suffer as well. They have to move forwards, and now they're in the firing line of Team Flash.
फिर भी एनएस लोग ने 2 लोग बचे हैं टॉप डॉट है
Seems to be
अगर टॉप का ये नेट से फूट जाएगा टॉप साइड से
so can't discount him just
हाँ बोला ना मैं हो गया
long road though. Hyunbin and so easy now find the final blow.
अरे हो गया ले
Draw their game out on 113. They will fall to no smash. Not now.
We're gonna see a game 3, folks.
चलो गाइस एक मिनट
Because now's the chance.
How far can you go here, though? I mean, for Team Flash, this is a golden
ये टॉप
opportunity
16 वालों को सब लोगों को पैसा मिलता है क्या
get a little bit more cash under the belt, be a higher ranking finisher. They have all 4 of their players alive. They're looking pretty chill. As I said before, S2G do have the slimmest of opportunities. For me, it's Kamikaze needing to grab some third-party points off a fight that Team Flash has.
Yeah, he's just trying to sneak it enough points to sneak his team into any point matters though. I really got to give some major love to the Look at 13 eliminations. This team is trying to make a comeback of a lifetime, and this is how you do it. Got to get this win though. Anything less is not going to be enough for them to make that race to the top.
Even when you do get it, it's still a long road for them to try and find. For Kamikaze, he needs to profit 6 more points on this match. Those can come from either increasing placements or getting eliminations to join that smash point bubble.
But this next circle comes in, it's
Aura
not
from
going to
where?
have him in it.
Aura,
It does
Nepal.
push Flash into two of their, or well, into a few of
$3
their
million
locations, but it looks
का
like
price
they've spotted him. Kamikaze is there, they roll up,
तभी
he's
तुम लोग
put
को
down,
इतना
and no
जीतने
longer
को
do we have
मिले।
that storyline. The battle at the bottom of the tables rings true for the final four here.
This is huge. Everyone's trying to move up their placement here. Like again, this is a massive prize pool. Every single placement up is big money in the bank. Aura, though, this is the game of a lifetime for them. This is one of those opportunities that gets your squad excited, gets them pumped up to finally start putting everything on the line. You can see Team Flash, so they're in the mix here. Aura trying to push from the edge of the circle. They're going to start throwing all their util onto Vitality. That's the threat. If they can hold that rock and secure that position, this could be a solid chicken dinner for them.
Absolutely.
वही 9 बजे तक चलेगा आज।
The nades keep on going forwards. 13 eliminations on side, and they want to add 2 more to the tally. Sky and Jiggle into the fight. Razak goes down first, immediately putting him out of business, out of action. Sky looks for more as well, and they turn it off. It's just too hot.
अबे FL भी तो है अभी।
Aura are on fire.
अरे नेड मारी सारा मार क्या करो हो गया रे
And now it's up to Sky.
Rapid fire.
Alula looking to stop the insanity that Aura
BGMI.
has put on display here.
Rapid
Here
fire
they
खेल रहे
come,
हैं ना
Yasser
BGMI।
moving up close and personal to be able to secure this high
Champion
ground. Team
इंशाल्लाह
Flash
रे
on
अब
the
हमारा
other
अल्लाह
end,
तो
putting some suppressive fire onto them as well. Aura just trying to lick their wounds, trying to find their way, but it ain't gonna be enough. That is Aura. Down to one single
अरे
player.
एक बंदा बचा है भाओ क्या कर रहे हो बाजू में सो रहा है तेरा एक बंदा
They stretched their legs and moved out towards this north side to get control of the zone. This is what we've wanted to see from a lot of our teams, and I'm glad to see it now, even if it is potentially a little bit too little too late. For them, they've got 10 eliminations here, so alright, they're on 15, but there is a real chance that they could catch up. A Sky is still cooking an aid, and Alula are gonna have to worry. Okay, he puts it back. Back to the shotgun shell.
He's not moving a muscle here, and I don't think Alula realizes that he's even still there. They have to know there could be a threat in this area. But Quick is just hopping in the vehicle to get a little bit of extra third-person perspective and get some sightlines. Plus, he's protected in there. He has no idea. They have no idea he's there. Hello! He missed the shots, though! Sky gets the knock, but gets shot in the back as Win from Team Flash shuts down Aura's run.
Pretty mighty flub there on the shotgun. Hot over the bonnet there. Probably didn't realize, but Quick didn't know he was there. And thought, oh, well, I'm going to have to go for the fight. He's going to stand up for it, right? Right? Not to be. Ooh. A cheeky little pick onto Zeus, and actually, Bose is quite low. Over the top, though, Tops and Win look to put pressure onto Quick. And remember, Alula only really have 2 players to play around with here. Claws and Yasser. Looking to navigate closer to the middle for Yasser, but Flash can regroup on 3. Claws has a lot to face down on his lonesome here on this angle. Needs a big nade, needs to find a knock pretty immediately, and is already taken down. Win steps through with the AUG, puts that one to bed, and a second volley of fire over the top of the rock sees Team Flash to the chicken dinner.
I'll take that one, that's for sure. Over 20 points in that game. A massive one for them. I guarantee you, their coaches, everybody was telling them, right, hey, this is what you need to do if you want to make a run of it. And this is a start, right? This is a start. It's still a long road ahead, but now the road is there. You know what I'm saying? It had to happen in this game, and they got it done.
That's what you need to do. And step up to that plate. Unfortunate that Nongshim and E-Arena couldn't really get much further into that one. That Aurora hold on the eastern side, it stopped them really from being able to break out in the way that they wanted to. Flash were an incredible suppressive force over the course of a lot of that final set of circles. So really, really great stuff from them. But yeah, it could have been very, very different if Aurora had played that slightly in a different fashion.
For sure. I mean, unfortunate for them, super fortunate for the rest of this lobby as we're going to go into one more game for sure. Now, as far as teams that are still within that Smash Point threshold, I believe it's still going to be the duo, right? It's still going to be the 2 teams. But another opportunity in this next game, right, for more squads to be able to push their way on up. As we're going to take a look at the replay here, Team Flash, great job of being able to finish this game strong. Win especially, just boom, putting the nail in the coffin. That's how you do it.
रिजवान ने कब क्या बोल रहे हैं कोई ना अगर ना जीते तो हमारी टीम चल यार अब अच्छा खेली तुम्हारी टीम.
Because they do want to keep up that pressure. If you're on a run, now is the time to hold on to that momentum. There is no more runway that you need to cover to take off on this. It is just today. There is nothing that you want to leave out on Erangel and let it go to Miramar because you may not reach it. No one might.
Just look at these players' faces. Straight intensity. These guys are locked in right now. They know exactly what they need to do in order to make this happen. And it's going to be on the back of a ton of eliminations and securing those wins. All while stopping E-Arena and Nongshim Red Force, who had a great pincer on the end of that circle there. But, you know, I think teams now especially have understood just how threatening this smash rolling is. And I think they're going to do extra and beyond to make sure that they can stop those two squads.
Absolutely. I mean, there is so much pressure on so many teams. I think that, again, I'm gonna go back to my old favorite hobby, it seems, this game of giving a little bit of hate over to Ralph, because Nick Galaxy, that 2-2 split did not work. It was really kind of catastrophic. And hey, you know what? The position that they went to, that they tried to go for on that east side was where Team Flash won from. So could have been different. But we're gonna head down to the stage. Kalaris has a little interview for us for some inside information.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much. Here with Nongshim Red Force, Hyunbin once again to get some insights on what's gone on so far. Let's talk about the Erangel that just actually happened. You guys found yourself in mini-mill to power, but then the circles shift away from you. You sent it north instead of any other direction. Talk to me about that choice. Do you think it was the right one, or do you think there was another path you could have taken?
일단 현빈 선수 첫 번째 질문은 일단 아까 에란겔 경기부터 일단 얘기를 해볼게요. 에란겔 경기 때 사실 밀타 파워 쪽의 공장을 이용하셨다가 이제 자기장이 튀자마자 이제 바로 북쪽으로 지르셨는데 사실 그쪽이 좀 다른 선택권이 없어서 좀 강제가 된 건지 아니면은 좀 그게 좀 가능성이 있다고 보신 건지 좀 궁금하네요.
일단 저희 자리에서 치킨 갖고 오기는 좀 많이 힘들었던 것 같고 저희가 오로라 한 명을 잘라나왔고 그 골에서 오로라 일단 한 팀 먹고부터 할 생각이긴 했습니다.
Yeah, we already knew that that shift was actually really tough for us. So what we thought was Aurora was actually there, and we got a one knock of Aurora player. So I think we should have started with knocking out Aurora, and then we find our footing on the ground inside that circle.
So the Rondo game, you just won another one here. You look always great in urban endings, does Nongshim Red Force. So talk to me about that urban ending. What were your biggest concerns? You had great roof control. So what was your guys' perspective on that finish?
또 론더판에서는 또 치킨을 드셨는데 사실 시가전에서 정말 좋은 모습을 보여주시는 것 같습니다. 그래서 그 시가전에서 특히나 이제 지붕을 통한 영역 컨트롤에 굉장히 또 일가견이 있으신 것 같은데 좀 그 점에 있어서 좀 어떤 점을 좀 중점으로 플레이를 했었는지 궁금합니다. 그 론더 플레이 때 시가전 플레이 때 어떤 플레이를 중점으로 두셨는지.
일단 저희 자리가 외곽이었고 저 시가 쪽 한쪽이 비었어갖고 일단 들어가서 서클 받다 보니까 그냥 좀 잘 먹은 것 같아요.
Well, honestly, I think the inside of the city play was actually well forced because we were outside of the circle. But that being said, I think we were kind of lucky because we tried to gain the footing because of actually one of the places are actually empty. So we just find our footing there, and then we just took a control of the roof and then we maintained good condition and intel.
All right, well, thank you very much for joining me, Hyunbin, here once again. That's Nongshim Red Force currently in position on the smash roll as we continue the games here at PMWC.
गाइस क्या लगता है तुम्हें अगला मैच एनएस या एयूआर निकालेगी क्या चिंगा? स्नैक्स की स्ट्रीम देखते हैं। स्नैक्स भाईजान क्या कर रहे हैं हमारे?
कैजुअल गया फिर भी मजा आ रहा है।
अबे क्या कर दिया इसने?
लाइक करो यार, पब्लिक जूल्स नहीं भेज रहे भाई, क्या 2 लाख लाइक भी नहीं हुए में, क्या है रो भाईगन।
Nongshim Red Force and E Arena not being able to close it out, so we're gonna keep going. One more match in this one. Team Flash being able to come off with a win there after not really being able to do much for the whole tournament. Great performance out of this squad, but don't forget, for everybody that's currently here at EWC, make sure you guys check out the fan experience. Go look at the awesome stuff between PUBG Mobile and Naruto. Try out Brain Rot Royale, why not? Because we've been able to try it and it's quite fun, and I played it way too much. I had to stop so I could actually come here and break down what's been going on in the finals, and also check out Spider-Man. Maybe you'll get a chance to meet him and greet him. But about this performance from Team Flash Max, we finally got a chance to see them perform.
I never doubted. No, I have been doubting a little bit. It's been looking a bit dicey recently, unfortunately. But no, really good hold on the northern side, right? Able to get rid of a lot of threats over in that position. Definitely a team that has been very silent. But before this game, they had a total of 63 points. If my count is right, they just got about a third of the points they've made so far up until now out of all of their games in a single chicken dinner. 23 points. So that's going to get them way higher up in the middle rankings. And let's keep in mind, even if you're not number 1-7, the prize pool distribution is getting way higher on that first half of the leaderboards.
It is. For some of these teams that might be too far away from that threshold of the smash rule, they're going to be pushing up because there is that prize pool at stake. $3 million that we're going to be giving out. And Horror Esports being able to perform really well, seeing the aggressiveness. This is what we've been expecting out of Horror Esports, the aggressiveness, 16 eliminations.
I mean, it's a real shame we just didn't see this from the get-go, right? From day one throughout to today, because they could have been in a very different position on those leaderboards than we see them right now. But also, just mention very quickly, as we look at the team stats here for Sleepy and Sky actually doing some mega work. They did have some really good names. They were pushing very well. They are the team that got rid of E Arena in the mid phase of that game, taking shots onto Nongshim there. So, you know, very, very proactive, really looking around them and trying to get as many elims as possible. I think we can call that farming.
They were farming a little bit. They definitely were. But actually, the key thing we have to keep in mind for Horror here is they are the team that eliminated E Arena, which is a team, if you get that elimination, one of the plays, you're like, that's the arena. That's the arena right there. Go. Push them, push them. And then they did it. And because of that, right, Lace, they delay the tournament just a little bit more, which really is going to make this event so much more interesting because so many teams can enter the Smash Zone.
I know, and how crazy it is that the top of the leaderboards seem to fall and then these mid teams sort of have that glimpse of hope and opportunity. But that's why we love it here for PUBG Mobile with the Smash Rule, especially. Now, I do want to sort of draw your attention to S2G, a team that is quite incredibly close to that Smash Rule. But if we talk about the first game, we didn't really get to chat to them sort of in that first mid-section. They had a nice recovery, a little bit of a hot drop, couldn't capitalize on as many eliminations as they wanted to. The roughest zone shift for them, they had like that kind of open terrain, they couldn't really move in. And then they passed. And then this game, again, it kind of like they're losing their team so incredibly early after eliminations. You saw Kamikaze there on the north side trying to sponge those points, but again, falling short. Look how incredibly close S2G are, 116. They should have done it earlier.
just 6 points away from being able to enter the Smash Zone. Aurora Gaming as well, currently 9 points away. And teams that we're going to be looking to be able to close that gap, especially when we saw Arena get eliminated. Nongshim really not going for that many eliminations, playing it quietly. Yeah. Four Thrives. I mean, Four Thrives wasn't really able to do much. And with the win that we just saw to Team Flash now moves into 7th place.
Yeah, really good push up here. Team Flash, 7th position overall. That's going to be an extra bit of money in their back pocket. But the thing is, they're looking very scary. Look at the top 3. 3 chicken dinners, 2 chicken dinners, 3 chicken dinners, while the other teams below all have 0, like 4 Thrives, or a singular chicken dinner. So that is really making it scary that the tournament could really end Niptera at any point today.
Well, the big thing as well for me is that Aurora Gaming, Nigma Galaxy, and Arena all finished up that match with 0 points on the board, right? Yes. None. Nothing for game 2. S2G is moving up. As you said, Lace, you've got 4 Thrives. Well, also they got 0 points, so they don't count. Yep. But Team Flash, Ulf, all of these teams, they are really making a push forward, while those top teams, except for Nongshim, it's getting very close for the rest of those teams.
Yeah, and in this first page of the overall, there is one big outlier, especially when we're looking at the wins here, and it's none other than 4 Thrives. 4 Thrives, the only team in this first page that doesn't have a win. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because, yes, 4 Thrives, if you are able to have a good performance in the next match, at one point, we need to start seeing those win if they want to be able to win via Smash Roll.
I mean, even if we bring it back to sort of the group stages, they were sort of unable to get those chicken dinners. Of course, they could capitalize on eliminations, but they weren't really one of those teams that would close out the win. We're sort of seeing this trend now, and of course they want to sort of get those E-limbs and sponge those points to hit that kind of Smash Roll threshold, but in then it's still, if you calculate statistically, it's still, their win rate is not really that. Yeah,
no bit politely. But you know what? I'm going to pivot the conversation. I want to bring it back to Nongshim Red Force.
Yes. Let's discuss.
I wanted to take a bit of time here because that was an absolutely insane throw. There are 3 options. Or you third party to the western side on the mountain next to Lumberyard, or you directly crash into Al Ula, which is what I think would have been a really good option, or you decide to go for the wide wrap onto Flash, which I wouldn't recommend, and they ended up doing. There were so many options to go, but that was like out of the 3 Niptera, the one that was not going to give them the win.
And you know what? It's showcased by Al Ula had off the win. They would have won there. It is genuinely not even game throwing, it's almost championship throwing in game 2, right? Because they could have won it, they could have ended it, done and dusted, and they just didn't. They went for a very different play.
Yeah, looking your way, Team Flash is looking your way, Al Ula is also looking your way. You're just making it harder for yourself. And Nongshim Red Force have some of the best rotations sometimes, and then they pull stuff like that. I'm very confused. They're a very confusing team. Entertaining to watch, but confusing.
I also want to sort of point out, and this is just kind of across Battle Royales in general, sometimes you only have that one opportunity, and when you miss it, it is now 10 times harder to get back to that same position. You do not get these chances often. And like you said, Niptera, they didn't make that space, they didn't make that play well, so it will be a little bit more challenging now.
And with Nongshim Red Force, especially in that performance, right? I fully agree with you guys. They decided to go the completely wrong way, being within nade range of Aurora as well, even though they ended up out-surviving Aurora. One thing, though, for this team is that when we seen it in the past, you were kind of telling me this to Niptera, especially at PMMI. Once they hit the Smash Zone, this team is so scary because they know exactly what they're playing for, which is just the win, right? Yes, they can get some points. And we kind of saw this here being super passive, the team just waiting for the right time. And I think maybe that's what could have hurt them there. They was just looking for something passive. They weren't looking for an actual fight, and that's why they decided to go with that rotation.
You know what? I 100% agree with you there, Seven, because, yeah, they are so scary. They are so patient. And we saw that them lining up on Milta Power there, lining up on that wall, going, okay, what's the next play? They didn't look scared. They weren't going too quickly. They were just being very patient. They were sitting and going, okay, what are we going to be doing next? And then they make the most harebrained, like, under pressure play, it felt like, right? Another team I would have expected that from. Not from Nongshim, not with the presence of mind they seem to have while in the smash point. They are not a team that falls under pressure, and it felt like they just did that. It's very, very odd. Next game, though, still a chance. ADA still the only competitor for them right now. Game 3, we can do this.
I'm going to pivot the topic again. Sorry, I'm all over the place. Actually, the MVP race. which is actually, we could have a dog situation on our hands, which is we saw Eren being top damage dealer, he had a ton of eliminations, and they're currently at the very bottom of the first page. We could have a situation where they're nowhere near winning the tournament, and a player on Ulf could actually become your PMWC 2026 MVP. Gotta be careful there because he is in 4th position, but it's Hyunbin, it's Tizzy dominating here for Nongshim Red Force.
It is, and Hora with that performance that we just saw there, Sleepy being able to put up the numbers. Aaron, you were talking about it as well, but we have a lot of fans here in the arena. We got 4 thrives, we got a bunch more over there from Godlike. Let's see what Barney's currently up to.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've said it time and time again that we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the fans. We've got so many around the arena, so before we dive into our 3rd map of the day, it is time to check in with them. And so, Furia, Godlike, make some noise!
जल्दी स्टार्ट करें बस मेरे हिसाब से ये लास्ट मैच होगा बहुत सारी टीम टॉप के करीब आ गई हैं लेट्स सी क्या होगा क्या लगता है
You can hear the celebration in the arena. I'm sure you can hear it at home as this Hall of Heroes echoes with every fans, hopes and dreams. Get out there, energy. The time still goes on. Not ending in a game 2 smash. We run it right back. And anticipation has reached fever pitch here in France. Everyone's
Hi Noob Lucky, welcome to the stream. क्या हालचाल?
Loving it!
Having a great time here in the arena. The Enigma Galaxy, great showing on that first match, but goodness me, what an event, what atmosphere we've got here in our arena. Lovely to see all the support coming out for our players, for our teams here. Potentially the last match. Ooh, maybe. Felt like on that last one, weren't quite able to get it there for Nongshim Red Force. They kind of make a bit of a Hail Mary. Didn't work out. But we do have our 3rd match coming up. Erangel, nice and steady map here to get yourself a chicken dinner on. Nongshim might be waiting for later on in the day though. Hitting another big Miramar, but will someone beat them to the punch? Will E-Arena start stepping back up again?
मुझे लग रहा है लास्ट सेकंड या लास्ट तक जाएगा
A lot of fine margins and a room that's getting rowdier and rowdier each game that goes by. But we'll focus on the here and now, the present that is the fact. We've been presented with a 3rd game here live from EWC. PMWC has not stopped delivering, and I don't doubt this game will be anything different. We're back on Erangel, playing path established.
Last match, a little bit difficult, honestly. I don't blame a lot of our teams for struggling slightly there. Very, very southern playing path to start things off. Awkward drop spots, awkward rotates, quick switch out towards the eastern side. Not an easy game to confirm a chicken dinner on. This time around, really, really gentle playing path. Straight across the center. No one's complaining. Everyone's had a lovely in-flight meal and we are ready to get going again. Things spread across the entirety of the map. So a lot of room to rotate, Jackie, but where's the circle?
Last तक जाएगा.
Well, if history is anything to go by with some of the circles we've had here this event, it might be something a little bit spicy for this one.
Might just be. Fair bit of Sosnovka pulled into play here, down towards the south side. We got plenty of water in play. Teams have to start getting their feet wet into this one to make it happen. Those bridge crossings, absolutely diabolical. Aurora, also tough decisions. S2G, bit of a menace team to run into on that eastern side, but 4 Thrives have been consistently oppressive over towards the west. So hard decisions need to be made for this squad. They're getting vehicles, likely will loop down towards the south side of the map. They've been praying for a southwest shift on this one, over towards farm.
नहीं भाई
OG will get
लिख लो क्या लिखूं S2G winner
moving, planting those seeds of destiny. South.
तुम्हें कैसे पता है S2G winner है कौन है
George, long distance on this one.
Make sure you get stuck in with that Naruto
Let's see,
in-game
guys.
event that's been going on. Pick up that awesome Ninetales Fury org and try and make plays like some of the best we've seen over the tournament.
One of the best right here on our screens in Mormon. For E-Arena, he has been the
OG
man.
और
Seriously good stuff from him. So many
है
clutch plays, so many moments
यार,
when it felt dire and Mormon
OG
was
का
able
कह
to
सकते
pull
हैं
it
पर
back for the
godlike
squad.
का नहीं कह
Looking to do the
सकते
same
यार,
here in the
godlike
final
कर
day.
सकते हैं।
They've already achieved the smash ruling. As we said earlier on the desk, the only two teams to currently
Zone
do
के
it, but do think
zone
that
के
that will
बीच
change
6
after match
point
3
आएगा
if we don't
chicken
end it
हुआ
all
तो नहीं
here
चाहिए
and now. Right now you have that serene
पता नहीं यार
sense for E-Arena as well as Nongshim Red
भी हो
Force that
सकता
there is
है,
only
guys।
one other squad in the lobby that could beat you to the punch.
Hi unknown, welcome to the stream क्या हाल चाल
I do think, mate, with our S2G have looked, if you could come alive here, get a bit of a big boost off this game, they've still got a chance to be a dark horse, to be able to upset in this lobby. And I think we saw some of that talent yesterday when they were fighting under so much pressure as well. In disadvantaged situations from distance, Amzi G, he was popping off. There's a lot they can do, bro. You know, we touched on Kamikaze an awful lot over the event, but I think it's that duo that brings so much firepower. We'll see what they got this time.
Hamzi as well as Kamikaze looking great. And for S2G, they're a team that's put up quite a lot of chicken dinners so far, actually. I think they're currently on 3. Looking to break that record, though I think it will be difficult today to do that, since get up towards 5, and by the time they get to 5, they should have also just won at that point. That's a smash. So possibilities of broken records ruined by the format for them. But I do think they would be happy with the win, regardless.
Yeah, I don't think it'll bother them too much, right?
Yeah. So for S2G, certainly
सोचो
possibility
लास्ट में
here.
2 टीम्स बची है EA और NS
Only 6 points on this game that's needed for them. For Aurora, we are looking
गड़बड़ हो
towards
जाएगी भाई
9. Enigma Galaxy is going to have to be a bigger match. 22 points on that one, which is almost certainly going to be a chicken dinner. Yeah, a lot of teams looking to breach that smash ruling as we come into match 3, which is where it always gets stressful. Hot Jukes, a little documentary style, earlier on today was saying that he'd love to see 6 teams towards that final match, all vying it out for the chicken dinner.
Guys, one
I felt like a lot
subscriber
of times internationals do go to that 6th match no matter what. And even PMWC, ooh, for Nongshim Red Force, oh my god, he's alive. For Nongshim Red Force, he did go to match 6 when they got that smash. Satan immediately peeling off there for Enigma Galaxy, but they are in close contention with 4 Thrives, who are exiting from Ferry Pier and Yellows.
Four Thrives, they've been loving these fights versus Enigma the entire event. Always able to catch them on their egress. I was just as surprised as you were. He actually got out from that one. But Lord, not lucky enough to bypass either. That back and forth conversation between those two teams continues even this far into the event. Emre running down Lord to get that confirmation off.
Yeah, now that idea of getting the chicken dinner and getting into smash ruling feels a little further away. 4 Thrives will aggress over towards Ida. Should hit them up towards the 100 now, so they've also hit the century on this game. Getting ever closer to that count. Nongshim Red Force was able to make a fairly good rotation towards the central position. They like to play around this area. They are cut in with S2G though. Slightly scary spot to be working with. very central.
Let's see.
Still only here in zone 1. Anything can happen as long as they're set up. Position to move from should be okay.
Gordel सामने ना
finds
किस power
X-Power.
ना Admino ने
There
दिया
is a
ना
clapback from Admino, who
Finish
immediately will flush out Scarface. So full-on engagement here between Ulf as well as
nice
Godlike.
Admino
Already big
अरे
shots being
Admino
connected.
को
And it's wiped up so quickly.
Hey,
Ulf
Gordon,
withstand
what
the
is it?
pressure. They do lose one player, but they can get Aaron back up, and that's a key piece of the puzzle for them. Keep him in play, reset with the meds, and grab the extra loot.
क्या कहा जाए?
I mean, for Aaron, what a run it's been for him during this tournament. Max was highlighting him on the desk of how much he was able to really prove himself here at this event, despite having some awkward moments, honestly. Still remember his crash into gas station, which went terribly wrong, but even then he is putting up numbers. OG do take a knock there to Tiamba, who have been sadly very quiet after day 1. A majority of the points earned there, if they were able to replicate anything like that day 1 and day 2 or day 3, they would have won this tournament by a mile. Sadly, that's just not the case. Trying to get back into the mix of it now, though, as Milu. So that's look for these nades.
लास्ट में अपनी औकात दिखाई देते हो अभी तक कैसे अच्छे से बात कर रहे थे कैसे अच्छे से बात कर रहे थे
AKOP in the back line.
औकात दिखानी होती है
Nice arc from Milu.
पता लग जाता है पाकिस्तान
Milu, the madman, when he's feeling himself, he can do so much damage on a battleground.
दोनों टीम
He's got back up from the boys. If they can get out of this one cleanly, maybe they can at least try and ruin some of the runs for the other squads above them. Milu keeps it going to get that flush as well, so that will remove Aru. Hard cut him out. Blue coming in to make it a bit more suffocating between these two sides.
Quite a few nades already expended here from Tiamba as well as OG. We're right in zone 2 now. Blue starts to tickle a fair bit. QZZ gets a bit panicked there. Will drop a couple of shots through and then immediately send in Milu. He's just going to prime the nade. That's a nice one from him. Good patience. Lets it go through. Is he going to peek this onto AKOP? It's me. Does not care in the slightest.
क्या करेगा?
Friendly fire. Denies the point.
Oh, yeah. And they're going to bounce around, make sure they clean up on that one. Trying to snatch away some of the earnings from it. Good to see Tiamba, though, getting a bit of fanfare back from the crowd and big plays from Milu. I think he was sat on about 11 elims off the back of 3 games back on day 1 as well, mate.
He's a killer, that's for sure.
मैं प्लेयर को कुछ नहीं बोलता था ऐसा स्मैट मारूंगी ना वहीं पर आके
on the team again.
गन पावर कौन बोलता है एस पावर को
but looks like he is ready to play today. Gameplay looks clean. For Nongshim Red Force, hard rotate off towards that north side. We've got dip in play, but not fully. At least we did confirm away from the south side. A lot of the water got cut out immediately. A hard shift over towards the northwest, and an easy rotate now for Tiamba to actually get in.
There's Catch, popping up in the elim feed. Couple shots over towards the Furia squad. Furia that have been a little bit more shaky today in some of the battles we've seen. Hasn't been as cutthroat.
अरे चुप रहो भाई मुझे पता नहीं है कि तुम लोग किस वे में बोल रहे हो अगर प्लेयर की इज्जत करनी है तो सही से करो और अगर लड़ना है तो बताओ वो भी बताओ
Nongshim just ahead of the Aurora crew that have made their rotation over the bridge west of Novka. Oh, are they going in for this aggro?
Aurora might be looking just to swing on the coastal side, deny as much sidelines as possible. Top though, playing an anchor backstop here, taking some good shots. There is another play here alongside him with Doc. Hamzy G at distance, also watching, so this is a dangerous rotate here for Aurora, because even if they get down towards the beachhead, S2G might have a sideline with Hamzy, and we know just how good Hamzy is at distance. An eagle eye on him. Let's go through, but so easy, brushes them off.
Dirt off the shoulder for So Easy. Can't keep this man down right now.
अरे मेरे नाम लेने से ना लेने से कुछ नहीं होता भाई.
3 of their nades invested, so draining some of the early offensive utility.
दिख
But
रहा
it
है
looks
पिछले
like they've
साल
still
की
got a good
फॉर्म
supply, at
चैंपियन.
least on dock with 5 in the backpack.
एक
Meanwhile,
एक
Arena
बंदे
pushing
ने भी
back
एक
up
बंदी
over
को तो
towards
किया है
Wolfcatch, trying to
नहीं.
catch
आए
an
बड़े यहाँ पर
escape
बोलने
plan.
वाले.
Dives behind the driving,
एक
but
बंदी को
it's
तो
not
करके
quick
दिखा दो.
enough as Joker will adjust his crosshair and find that one on the exit. Mormon takes a knock back over.
Sorry यार अगर बुरा लगा हो तो.
Bit of a
हमें भी
disjointed
लगता है
Irish
भाई बुरा
exit
जब
there
तुम लोग
from
खाने से
Wolf.
मरते हो.
Alula under pressure though as S2G just flies in over towards the garages. R3B in the corner and S2G cleans it up. Not a single player lost. Should be able to get that res. Nongshim
पहले क्या
Red Force in
बोला
the
था?
meantime
अरे
after
तो
seeing
जब
those players
40
leaving
मारती है,
did get that
sorry
leapfrog
ये
on so they
OG
get a
और
little
godlike
bit further
मारती
into the
है, तब क्यों
circle
नहीं
here.
आते हो?
Milta
तब
not the main
क्यों
feature.
भागते हो? तब भी
If we
रुका
go
करो
down
ना,
towards
बात
the
किया
southeast,
करो
we
यहाँ पर
know
मेरे से
just
वन
how
ऑन वन.
good Nongshim can be in an urban finish, thriving in the concrete jungles.
So no overcommit, like you touched on. Aurora just controlling some of the rotation paths with the coast firmly under their foot. Map geometry favouring them from this position. They opt to go for the 2-2 split. Reefers and top further over near the area. We see Vitality starting to encroach upon. Whilst Joel and Doc, two players with very heavy hands. If you do want to challenge them in a raw duel, play off each other.
It's actually a possibility right now with S2G leaving. I don't know if Aurora is able to spot that. They certainly don't see Hamzy G continuing to peak the angle, but now they have free capability to actually make an eastern ramp if they want. Right now they're holding two fairly decent locations in terms of vision onto the map, but they are right on the edge, so eventually they'll have to move. I think likely what's going to happen is they'll wait for zone 4, make a decision from there how they want to rotate in. But there's a lot of free space over towards the eastern side, and already Doc is going to scout it. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen. Get a little bit further up, realize that actually this space is kind of open at the moment for us to get a little bit more of an eye in towards the circle.
That's the kind of premium real estate that man like Doc's going to instantly sniff out and be confident enough to rep himself to take control of.
हाँ, strategic तुम्हारे टाइम पे ये होता है ना.
For Aurora.
Next circle though. Define a lot of how this works, and we are down towards Milta. Nongshim might be thinking about making a move right now, and they're instantaneous. This is way better than last game. Last game felt late on those rotates. It felt like they were still making decisions. This time they are much quicker with it. Out to the outside edge, not confirmed towards Milta yet. Still giving them capability to move out towards the field should this move towards the west, but now they're going to have a swivel on towards all the teams around them. Aurora recalling Reefers back towards the squad as teams start to surge towards Milta.
Timing on this is going to be so dangerously tight though. They all caught vision on one another. Eden have already entered close.
पढ़ाई लिखाई करो भाई,
Solos playing in a line there for Aurora with the wrap in late. Rufus seeing the backline of Vitality knows he's got to go down towards the coast and then assist the team. Tiamba getting shots off as well. That's off. Oh, you're going to be eating shrapnel on this one. Wide arc down towards the roadside.
Aaron here by the toll gates is always an awkward spot, very nadeable. Couple of positions you could play around inside the toll booth itself to try and dodge those close quarters ordnance. Oh my god, there's mollies everywhere. Aaron can barely move. He has to find an opening with this nade, but for Ulf it's looking like it's more and more over. XZY goes down to a nade from Reefers. Doesn't push it though. Should be resable.
That's two players knocked as well. We saw Vitality getting the first domino falling onto Nongshim, then the assist coming in from Aurora. The Nongshim Smash squad might have come unstuck early.
Oof. It's far, it's far. It's so hard. He kind of needs to get over the top and try and pick him up, but when the vehicle's currently slammed, it's really difficult to do. Just about holds a rest. He was so low. Tizzy perched himself on the rubble of the wall. Oh, that was close, Jackie.
I think we just saw Federales get a single tap onto Hyunbin as well. He was looking for the drop with the smoke, wanted to try to get down there and assist, took a single bullet, had to hit the deck again. Thankfully, smokes out, limited cover as well with the walls, so the geometry playing in their favor. You can go for another res. They might be able to recover it cleanly.
I think they won't be recovering though. It's all this utility that they just spent getting those players back up again. How many smoke launchers do they still have left? Vexy finds Tizzy again. Nongshim under mad pressure at the moment between two separate squads, both looking towards them. Just have to hold on for the time being. Stop peeking, honestly, but I feel like they realize they need to keep these teams on the outside at bay. Arena, though, down in the blink of an eye versus Tiamba. Another team on Smash ruling out, and Tiamba survives as for just. Eagle inside. As always, the lurker looking to play medic for the rest of the squad here.
He might be the eagle, but there is vultures swarming the skies around him. Other teams realizing there's been a lot of damage done here. It's a risky pickup with the position he's in. Luckily, he's got some cover from the vehicles to try and save his mates. That's Aura, though, with Jiggle getting one of them confirmed off the back of the damage that was done. So they do go down to at best a 3-man squad post this pickup.
A lot of teams need to move. A lot of teams that actually fully confirmed though towards Milta now feeling a little bad about this one, which is exactly why you see Aurora playing on this edge down towards the south side and Nongshim not fully moving in. So 4 Thrives, they've got to extricate themselves. Flash have also got to pull themselves out of this one. S2G a little bit safer where they play around the warehouses and they can move up over towards that top side, move playing over towards Toll Booth later. But it's Aura right now who actually own the majority of the space on the northern edge. 4 Thrives opening up over towards Aurora as they move.
मैं तुम्हारे भगवान के बारे में कुछ बोल नहीं रही हूँ, इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि तुम लोग घुस जाओ तो कुछ भी बोल लो, ठीक है? औकात में रहो, औकात में बोलो.
Vitality have just been really running interference from this angle as well. If there's a peek up from Hyunbin, they're harassing with shots. If they can get LOS back over onto the coast of Aurora, it's punishing as well.
For Nongshim Red Force, they know the shots came from Vitality earlier, so this is sort of the team they need to deal with first. The one thing I really worry about for Nongshim, though, is how exposed the vehicles have been this entire time. You got to imagine that wheels are blown out, if not vehicles fully exploded. They do have to move further in towards the circle, likely will be on foot, unless they can find some kind of vehicle in the near future. Vitality's going to go for a mad rotate over towards the northwest side. They hear the fighting. They notice that Nick Galaxy's down. This is a good opportunity to go for. Vexy helping from the back lines. Really like this push from Vitality.
Ralph's on an island. Last man left alive and not breathing for much longer as Razak will find that adjustment back onto Nigma, so they go down. Vexy's been good as well at providing some overwatch for this squad. Showing up when they needed him. Fury are on the move close by, shots from either side, so a lot of information garnered towards them. They advance further. Silence and Co pushing up with the vehicles, going to peek over the top of the rocks. There's Tiamba in the distance, nades being thrown onto Vitality, a backline potential. Igor goes in, big sprays, assisted by Silence. 4 Thrives taking some damage as well, the pepper back onto them.
Fury's going to move in on this, like you say. Igor's already on that front line. The rest of the team all stood alongside him now. And Vitality find themselves in a very horrendous position. Nades from Tiamba going a little bit wide here, trying to angle these through the smoke. That one should be on target. Easy cleanup. Tiamba grab themselves 10, 11 eliminations on this match so far. Much more reminiscent of the past, and Milu's already on 4.
Furia playing with that confidence and aggression we know they've got as 4 Thrives buckle under the pressure. Furia shutting them down in the close range combat. And Nongshim, after turtling for so long, finally knowing Vitality had been taken out of the picture, they can make a move. They're just wrapping around to where Aurora were.
This is interesting, trying to get rid of Aurora actually. Only one player here in Refirst, potentially they've noticed that. There's actually a massive amount of space on this western side that they could clear. Tiamba's a 3-man, Furia's down to 2. Circle moves up that way, leaving Tiamba with one of the few remaining positions, and we are on toll booth. Oh my God, what a circle to end on.
Ooh, deep nades. Reefus casting that one out. Back nades as he advances to try and create a little bit of space between the teams. Distant shots coming in from Tiamba. He's got to hit the deck, but that's not the only squad you got to worry about. Lost from S2G, gets a sight line, and goodbye Reefus.
The only thing is just like kind of flashbacks to last game where there is a massive capability of moving west on this one for Nongshim and clearing up towards that north side, having all that space. You'd imagine that they saw the amount of teams that moved into Milta. They are just charging headlong into danger here, where there is so much more room to play on the northwest side. Guys, you don't need elims. You need a chicken.
And they might get barbecued if they take too much time on this one. Joel was cooking a molly. XCY so paranoid about the peak from the top side with Tiamba. And with Fury not needing to force the issue amongst them, they've got a crystal clear line of sight down onto the rotate path for Nongshim. It's so uncomfortable.
Come back, lads. Just come back off this angle. We don't need to play it anymore. You can wrap back over towards. So easy. 2 down. What is this? It makes little sense. I mean, they'd set themselves up wonderfully the entire time for this western exit. And as soon as the circle moves away from Milta, what do? Push into Milta?
The panic's there. Paralysis by analysis. The zone takes away one of the members, and we're down to just a duo. Aurora caught on their exit as Lost will be able to continue playing powerfully off this angle. XZY thankfully given a few moments of respite as he runs to try and find any cover at all.
Kamikaze from S2G, we talked from the start of the game. They have just about hit that 122 now. So they have hit that smash ruling going towards that next match. Another team steps up to the plate. They've done enough here, even if they go down. Looking to take down Ida regardless. Reaction coming through clutch there, but Kamikaze, as always, the backbone in the team.
Standing straight and keeping S2G in a position to recover from this. Quick reactions from Ida, but a shutdown play. But will let S2G fight on for another day? Flash though, getting eaten alive by Hora. Wrapping down the ridge, the nades bouncing in. Tops is down. And Kamikaze scanning to see what more points they can steal.
Hora on for a big game here, actually, Jackie. Looking to push themselves further in the rankings. Only 2 eliminations so far, but so much more to grab here as most teams are bruised and bleeding coming into these final zones. Tiamba also having a good time of it. Nades going over the top here from Nongshim Red Force, rolling down, and we are directly on top of toll booth now.
That's okay falling. XZY getting the tags off. They've been under constant pressure the entire time. It's not clean. It's awkward.
Not even a helmet on so easy here anymore.
Mate, you're playing with a bare minimum. Concessions had to be made. But in the back pocket, the first one thrown in looks good for the bounce. Oh, see ya!
Double bouncer.
Guys, एक बात
XZY is
बताओ,
down.
अगर S2G यहाँ पे चिकन
Comes to the end
लेती
of his
है,
line there.
वो जीत जाएंगे क्या?
Nongshim is floundering at the moment. Confusing moves.
हाँ guys.
Win though from the back lines will get the backstab, but immediately spotted out by Lost here. S2G absolutely have done enough, but they're looking to push further into this game, as is so easy.
They're trying to send a message with this one. It's not just about what they needed to get into Smash. They want to prove that they can be the big dogs in the lobby. Response back over them. Hamza G eating the nade from Hora as Hora are lighting up the sky. Explosion after explosion on top of the Turkish team. They are stuck on the ridge and cannot advance. Backline attack from Tiamba from way over the other side. And Tiamba keeping the pressure on. Trying to get that pick up in. Lost with limited space to play off. In comes the nade. Oh! Sky! makes it work, and S2G go down.
NS का भी एक बंदा बाकी है.
Behind the tree there. Let me introduce you to the biggest dog in the lobby.
NS का एक बंदा अभी भी बाकी है.
So easy. With barely a hope in this match, but still hanging on. Fury dashed by the roadside, leaving just horror.
NS का एक बंदा बाकी है
Nongshim Red Force in this endgame. For Nongshim, the best thing about this is that even if there isn't a smash win, this is keeping them contention for the top spot, at least.
It's going to be big for the placements. And is there a chance of some sheer shenanigans from So Easy? He's crossing his fingers, mate. But you've got a hard task ahead of you.
This guy's has to have him here. Just the peeks over a little bit. So Easy, he's trying to hide his face behind the barest of pylons, behind this railing.
उसको पता नहीं है अभी वहाँ पर NS वाला बंदा है.
Come on, he has to do something though. Oh, they've smoked him.
Hang on a minute.
Cheers, lads. I really needed that.
अरे ये क्यों कर रहा है?
He's tucked in behind it. There's no real angle from the backside as well from Tiamba, so it just depends. I mean, if Aura go for the hard force over,
this is mad.
Yeah, this could get cheeky quite quickly. Sleepy would have burned down as well. The vehicle, it's all going wrong. So Easy on the peacock, good for one, and Tiamba assisting with the shots from the top. He's going to go first on these as well.
Aura on the assist with an unreal smoke. Mollies go in, nades go wide, and he is out. Tiamba will clean up.
Nongshim were looking to blot out the sun on that one with a surprise plays, but it's not going to happen now. And Horror Solo remains with the advancement of Tian, but the nade goes over. Sky got a backpedal. Runs back to whatever cover he can find. Can he trust in his source on this one? Holding the peak, ready for the shots. Eagle gets knocked out of the Sky. QZZ with a reposition as Sky advances forward with a shotgun in his hand. Nade being cooked by Milu. This man don't miss.
Good damage. QZZ follows up with a second, and Tiamba is back. What a fantastic game. The three-man inside just felt like these guys needed a little bit of confidence. And that star on the match reinvigorates whatever light died out in Milu on day 2. It is back on now and it is blaring.
They started that game as they meant to proceed. The aggression was there. The despicable nade plays from Milu that always give you that gut-wrenching feeling of how does he do it. Continued from start to finish. The shots are on point. And a pathway begins to present itself.
Aura's got to be mad at themselves, though. Imagine just smoking up So Easy.
The smoke into the tire pop of the career down the hill. Oh, but
they really did careen off course there. Looked so good up until that point. Covering their angles, clearing their spots out. So Easy. He was mega confused. I would love to see his face in that moment. Pure shock. He's like, is that the nade moved away from his own way, actually?
That's the smoke. I can pass that.
Nice. That's great. I didn't have one of those before, you know?
No utility left, but they gave him what to be nice, and then Tiamba with the perfect timed nades.
Man, so good. There was a small part of me that thought that So Easy was going to clutch up. Small part of me, but I am glad it was Tiamba.
Oh yeah, tiny percentage, but it started to get a little bit bigger with how things were going. But hey, a Tiamba win is a very exciting prospect. Such a fun team to watch, Blank, bringing the heat in finals.
They're just a fast-paced team, and I think what we've seen them from before is just a little bit of that sluggish gameplay where they weren't quite able to make those plays, and they've been desperately banging on that door, but it's just been not going down. And I think Milu right there just put a foot through it. So it looks good. It looks way better now. They're pulling off those maneuvers too. So yeah, great work to Tiamba. Really, really happy to see it. And it was, I think for me, it was fantastic to see these guys happy. Yeah. I think that was my favorite thing about that win.
It's nice to see him smiling, nice to see the success story of how they're playing. And mate, you're right. I think if there was a door there, Milu not only kicked it down, he just destroyed the entire house.
He's just a whirlwind.
Yeah. Came through, blowing everyone away. And mate, I'd love to see that. I hope that continues.
I hope it does continue as well. For Tiamba, it's not over yet. We haven't rung the bell. They might have been uppercutted, but they have got back up again. The count did not finish. It's scary, no? Going into these final matches, we've got 3 teams at match point right now. It's S2G, E-Arena, as well as Nongshim. Nongshim's been making some crazy decisions. E-Arena, sadly, on the other hand, have just not been able to eke out those performances so far. It's felt a little bit timid from that team. S2G, though, I think this is a worrisome squad to have in that top 3 because they could just light it up at any moment now. Unless the pressure gets to him, which it seems to be the case for quite a few of our teams.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the contrast we're painting there for E-Arena, right? Where it feels like you had some flash-in-the-pan moments, but now it's come to, you just got to follow through. It's not happening, whereas S2G, we know they can strive for greatness. It feels like championship mentality is going hand in hand with their aggression, the way they're approaching these lobbies. All it takes, one big game. Could be a championship right there. But stay tuned for that. We'll find out. The narrative continues. Do not go anywhere.
Human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you, gamers, hybrid workers, artists, backing your every move.
Fighting until we make it. These teams are in Tiamba, able to get that chicken dinner, full control of the zone. But we have to talk about something that's very important. S2G being able to get into the smash zone now, not coming up short this match.
I mean, I just sort of want to touch on that. From their compound, they actually probably had the better position out of the squad, sort of moving that rotate in. But I mean, we got to talk about like their push on our Ula. I'm sure Max is going to cover this nicely a little bit later. But just the, I guess, raw power that they had from start to finish from that game, they were finally able to get over that threshold. Do I believe they should have done it in the first 2 games? A little bit, but that's okay. They've done it now, and obviously this is one of the teams that can take a victory.
They definitely can take a victory. This is a team that has already gotten 3 wins in Erangel in the finals when we're talking about S2G. If we're looking at some of the other teams looking to get to that smash zone, it's none other than Aurora. I actually thought Aurora was going to be able to make it already. They're struggling a bit today, Max.
Yeah, a bit of a weird hold onto Nongshim Red Force in particular, looking kind of weird. But by the way, I want to bring it back to S2G. They not only make it into the smash zone, they got a 9-point lead on top of E-Arena, which if we do not get a smash, is going back to the OG rules, which is the most amount of points becomes the champion. So right now, S2G are loving it, but so are Tiamba, shattering dreams in this game, eliminating E-Arena, eliminating the final player here at the very end for Nongshim Red Force, man. They are the reason why the tournament has not yet ended.
Hora Esports back-to-back great games here out of them. And for 4th Tribes Neptura, this team, after that rondo that we saw, they're starting to struggle. They ended up the first Erangel with a big old donut, and in this one, at least they secured 4 points.
I mean, at least they do. I did see that they had a really fantastic rotation around from just massive wraparounds into Milta and then out of it. But yeah, 4 points is all they're going to get for that. Fantastic nades from Hora. Oh my goodness me. You were talking about it, right, Max? Sky is fantastic with the nades today. Really, really on point. And Tiamba, I mean, honestly, the word that I would use for both Tiamba and Hora, they're feeling very intense. You don't want to go up against them. Look at those sprays. Long range, through the smokes. There's no escaping this team.
What are those sprays from QZZ? Oh my god. That was crazy stuff going out from him. I mean, he was just lasering everyone through the smokes. Incredible stuff. But at the end, Hora, another solid finish, right?
Yes.
Sure, maybe not chicken dinner, but it's a strong back-to-back, but so easy. In that smoke, actually, that was a smoke, right, from Hora Niptra. I thought maybe if he stays hidden, he could third-party it, but at the end, Tiamba put the nail in the coffin.
That's something that I was actually hoping that So Easy was gonna do. He was gonna end up waiting a little bit longer, maybe use that smoke to his advantage. But Max, he didn't want to wait for that third-party option. He just wanted to take matters into their own hands. And it goes back to what we're saying with Numshim. It feels like they're being passive, but they're not quite sure when to be aggressive and when to flip that switch.
They are a little bit hesitant, right? And that's the thing about the Smash ruling. Love it or hate it, teams, the mindset does change a little bit when you do have that chance of getting those chicken dinners. It is quite stressful for now. Not just 2 teams, but 3 teams. S2G are going to be joining their ranks, but of course S2G got 3 chicken dinners so far in the final, so they're looking like a team that could actually wrap it up. But looking at the rotations this game in particular, I know you in particular, Niptra, were quite critical about their push on the western side of Milta. There were other options that maybe could have been more valuable.
Absolutely. I think any... Oh, wait, hang on.
Hold on.
That's my clip right there. So looking at this play, so actually S2G, sorry, I have to jump into it. We're very split. Lost solo, literally in the 1v4. And even then, he's popping off, but he's also getting a bit of assistance from the teams on the other side of the road, right? His particular Kamikaze's got a fantastic angle. And there, the backup. This is literally the play that gets them into the Smash Zone. Solke going to be sending it forward. He's going to be joined up then by Hamsiji, an absolutely superhero style in the building. And they get 1, get 2, get 3, and the final player. And because of that, they get the 4-man reset and actually get enough points to enter the Smash Zone. What a hero save play of the day. They don't do that, they would still not be over that 122-point threshold.
It's insane. I think I missed that play. Thank you for that replay, because oh my goodness me.
So HamCG is just like crashing in the wall. We are not going out.
They just send it. Absolutely send it. And that's what we want to see out of some teams. Being able to send it. E-Arena, one team that's truly also running into that struggle when we talk about teams struggling that are already in the Smash Zone lace for E-Arena.
That was Tiamba's fault. I don't know. Like, I have to bring it to Tiamba because obviously E-Arena, you know, they had a nice little path in there, but Tiamba were actually positioned in such a great spot that they were so annoying to every team. This is Aurora. This was obviously even helping S2G in that fight. They were able to sort of gatekeep that area from E-Arena as well. And so it's unfortunate that we're seeing like E-Arena not being able to push into the position early enough because they are still sort of playing that edge.
They are going to be playing that edge, but right now they need to get that win if they want to be able to win via Smash Rule. They are one of those teams currently in the Smash Zone. Keep in mind, E-Arena started off the day with 112 points. They have only gotten 11 points so far after 3 matches.
And 10 out of those 11 have been in Rondo. Because remember, they hit 122. That's where they were. In the last 2 games, they've gotten 1 point. What is happening to E-Arena? You're looking so strong.
Yeah, transitioning to some of the other teams, right? I'm going to be looking at 4 Thrives Esports. This is a team, Max, that we thought was going to continue on that momentum. Remember, this is a team that usually is able to carry on momentum. They're still hesitant. They're still showing those things that we've been critiquing this whole PMWC at EWC 26, which is hesitance at times.
I was hoping they were not going to doubt themselves because they're not in the Smash Zone, unlike what we saw in PMGO Season 1, where they were actually very stressed and Ulf almost were able to close a 50-point gap over the course of those 6 matches. But no 4 Thrives, a bit shaken here. And actually, in a one play that you highlighted is that 3-1 split, right? You had Huzaifa on his own, 3 players in the city. That was a bit of a head-scratcher, right?
Yeah.
He was by himself.
Huzaifa was by himself. I could see maybe what they're trying to do is hedge their bets, but he was in such a difficult position, and it's a shame that he actually... When they actually wrapped around outside of the town as well to go back, Huzaifa ended up being taken out early, so that's a shame.
As I'm looking at the teams here, all the way up to 11th place, 92 points. These teams are getting closer and closer. They're kind of giving a bit of an advantage there, since some of the teams towards the top are choking a little bit, are not being able to get that many points. For those teams on the second page, what that's going to be costing Neptura and Lays and Maxman, it's just going to be costing for all those teams to just get closer and closer. There's a lot of money at stake right now when we end up talking about some of these squads. Let's see. Well, we have some of the comments on social media as well. One chicken for 40, and then you see what's domination is. Yeah, but right now we're not seeing the domination. We want to see that domination from 4 Thrives, right? Yeah! Let's see if they'll be able to deliver for their fans here at the arena. But for some of the other teams, right, we're now talking about, let's go back to Hora, because Hora is stopping a lot of those teams towards the top from getting those points. The teams towards the top need to be able to find some kind of adjustment to that aggressiveness that we're seeing out of Hora.
Yeah, them, Tiamba also, Hora in particular, they have nothing to lose, right? They're like, okay, we have to go hard or go home today. We have to initiate that comeback and leave the second page, which with the last 2 games on Erangel, they've been doing. We have one more Erangel coming up, right? So maybe we can finally see a Hora chicken dinner. That will be very exciting here in the finals of PMWC. But Tiamba, I feel like they're a team that in this lobby, if they get a knock and a flush on a player that's or E-Arena or Nongshim Red Force, and maybe now also S2G, they just fully capitalize on it. And I love it. They really are one of the few teams that are delaying this tournament until the very, very end.
I mean, I sort of just want to bring your attention to Furia because they are still sort of in that 90 points there. And from that previous game, they were holding the western side. Obviously, Hora was sort of taking out the rest of S2G. They did nothing. They didn't even rotate and swing around where Hora was, which would have capitalized their elimination. So they're kind of not being as present as they usually are.
It could be ending here in this next match. My prediction was in 4 matches. How many matches do you have, Neptura?
4.
Max?
4.
Lace?
I was hoping for 2, so mine's it.
Okay, yours is absolutely good. But let's see if it's going to be ending here in match number 4, or if we're just going to be getting a bunch more teams joining in this match zone.
Will this be it? We are about to find out. S2G joins the fray. Now 3 different squads could smash.
3 teams with that opportunity in our final edition of Erangel at the PMWC. It is going to go a little bit further than maybe some were expecting, given how today started, getting 2 teams into that smash zone so early on. But that double Milter shift on both of our zones has kind of thrown a spanner in the works. I mean, for Nongshim, right, they're dropping around that area. They're getting pushed in around the bridge. It seemed like they didn't quite have the force to be able to push their way out, right? They're still earning a lot of points on these games, though. So if it does go the full distance, they may just be able to win it out like that.
That's what you got to do at the end of the day. Is you got to try to win this whole thing in as many different ways as possible. And that is going to be, you're going to smash, or you're going to end up with the most points on the leaderboards at the end of the day. And Nongshim Red Force with that double Milta circle, like you mentioned, is just putting in the work.
Hello,
Problem is, though, is that if we get another one, I mean, everyone's going to know by now exactly where they're at. So the focus is going to, I think, shift a little bit. But this could be the game where we get another crazy Erangel circle to finish out the PMWC here at EWC live in Paris. You can see these players cracking their knuckles, getting ready to drop in one last time.
On Erangel, that will be the final bill. 3 teams, as you say before. Out of those 3, I feel like for my money, given today's games, I'm favoring either S2G or Nongshim Red Force. I feel like for me, E-Arena today has been solid, consistent, but not a game-winning team. And I need to see a little bit more from them to be confident in their ability to fully confirm on that smash. But we've seen them do some crazy stuff, right? They have broken records on their road here, and now they're in with a chance to take that title, give Schweppes his 3rd performance at a global level to get a global stage title with those 2 PMWI trophies already behind him, looking for a 3rd time to take it home.
Well, here comes the big one. We're here in Paris, folks. Let's make some noise as this is the last Erangel of the tournament. Could this be the final match? That's the question we're about to find out as we're looking now at the plane. These players are locked, loaded, ready to go. And we got one going right down the middle here in a nice diagonal coming from George all the way down to Novo.
Yeah, going to give a lot of access to everywhere on the map here. Shouldn't be too many hot drops. I know we've seen a couple of those certainly earlier on. I mean, in our first Erangel, we had that hot drop over near the Gatka fields that was a little bit questionable. Godlike not super happy about that, but there have been performances across the board here. Sorry, Ida. I think it was Ida and Tianbo actually who were on that hot drop earlier on, but still, a really tricky situation shouldn't be unfolding here this time around. Nobody dropping straight to North George, maybe just grabbing some vehicles and heading there later. Orangutan sending WizGod very far up north, isolated from the rest of the roster. Potentially, again, just grabbing a vehicle, going to break out and rejoin in a moment. As we take a look at our top players, though, it's a three-way tie with Ulf, Nocturne, Red Force, and Horror all having their representatives on our highest elimination counts. And it's a milli-circle.
Let's go. I saw some people pop up in the stands after seeing that zone shift. Here we are in military. All right. Aurora are going to be down there. Nongshim Red Force are going to be close to this circle as well. Man, oh man, Arigale doesn't disappoint here. Yeah, we had to just touch military just one more time, huh?
Hey, we got to do it. We got to do it to them. Aurora already dropping there, obviously, could potentially have some fast rotates there. What we've seen as well from Nongshim Red Force is a lot of times where they've been able to transition very effectively over towards the military island. They've had 2 chicken dinners on 3 of their military island finishes, which is going to hopefully be something that they can repeat. That's what they're looking for here. So a big opportunity for Nongshim, who tends to go for the rotate of one player off of the shark fin, rotate down south fairly early on circles like this, try and get a foothold on the north side of the island and work from there. That's what they're going to be looking for. But if we've seen it, the other teams have seen it too. Yep. So is anyone going to try and counter that?
Yeah, you know that these teams are prepared to do exactly what you can do. It's just, how are they going to execute it? That's going to be the question. Speaking of execution, if we look at the leaderboards right now, there are some teams that could still definitely win this whole tournament further down. I'm looking even all the way down to Team Flash, Aura, Furia, right? In my mind, though, it's getting to the point to where if they're going to win this thing, it's going to be via Smash, right? And if they're going to Smash, they have this game, and they have one more game to get within that threshold, okay? So if you look at Flash with 92 points, that's still quite a few away to get to that 122, but they have to do it in these next 2 games.
74 points, putting you really on the threshold. Unless everybody else in the entire lobby stops earning points and you just keep going on a points victory, maybe. But still, I'm not too sure about that one. So for 12th down,
yeah, that's 48.
I'm having a bad time thinking about their prospects moving on forwards, which is unfortunate. But there are opportunities for the rest of the lobby to keep that ball rolling. As you say, Flash really very much on an outside chance. I feel like anyone below 7th place is in that same boat, right? Having a really, really tough time, and even in 7th, 6th, and 5th to boot, it's going to be really rough. It will necessitate a chicken dinner in this match.
Yep.
To go across. This is that Nongshim Red Force rotate.
Here they go.
To tune in with our teams in the Smash Zone. Nongshim Red Force now across to the military island. S2G went very, very quickly, which makes me question how much loot they're going to have on board to try and hold this. Nongshim took a little bit longer to get across, which is going to give them some more power, some more backstop of utility of supplies. And Aurora, of course, dropping over in that military base. They're not in the Smash Zone just yet, but they are the team that is closest to it. Only 7 points behind right now. E-Arena, they're still in South George. It's very likely that they're going to take a long time to go for this rotate.
Yeah, super unlucky on the side of E-Arena. They've had to do the longest rotations in Arigale all day today, and I think that's why we've seen them not have as much success as normal. But this is a perfect zone for Nongshim, right? They're going to have the north side of military all to themselves. They know this side of the map like the back of their hand. Enigma Galaxy, in the meantime, starting to mix in a little bit with Ida, a team they're super familiar with as they battled with them in Pachinki.
I mean, Ida were across the bridge. They did not have a setup.
No.
So, they began getting across pretty much for free on that location. Great result for the squad. They are, of course, 21 points, which they'll need to try and push past in the next, as you say, 2 matches.
Yep.
To break on in there. And now Ulf could potentially try and roll across the bridge, but they are going to roll into a much harder stopping block, I imagine, given that Ida have now kind of solidified out to the west side of that exit, and Enigma Galaxy hold the compound to the east side of the bridge.
Interested to see the kind of plays we're going to see from these teams especially in that lower part of the leaderboards, because you know they want to still win this. It's still possible, but what kind of different play styles are we going to see? Like even Godlike was just eliminate everybody, right? So I would want to see aggression no matter what from them. Team Flash.
अबे क्यों रुक रहा है भाई?
With 92 points, right? They're going to be hunting down that 122. That's manageable, right? At the same time, that's a chicken dinner with 5 eliminations, so it's not going to come easy.
Hey, we're just going to see.
Sure.
We're just going to have to see what happens in this game, because right now 4 Thrives with their opportunity crashing into S2G with theirs as well. One step closer to the smash zone. 4 Thrives denied there as S2G put their first point on the board after gaining that smash point in that last game. And holding this south edge, I mean, I have this sort of bubbling feeling in my stomach, Juice. And it is, what if we get a really hard north shift and we go back to the mainland? It's so unlikely, and it's not even really worth bringing up. But I just have that little feeling. I'm like, oh, what? Oh. Back of my neck is prickling. My spidey senses.
The John Allen tingle.
That's right.
Is in effect here, folks. If we see that northern shift, oh boy, will this be one heck of a party here. Fortunate for 4 Thrives, they're on that most southern part of military, just thinking they can kind of get some of that loot. S2G finding one of their players isolated, and that's IQ gone just like that. Only player out of the lobby so far. Looking on over, there's still a lot of teams that are on in the blue zone still. I mean, we got E-Arena still in South George, so they're going to be pushing in super late. Tianba's up there, Godlike's up there, Aura are still just crossing. Yes, Naya. So a lot of teams going to be very, very late on this rotate.
Little family outing for Vitality. Pop into the hovercraft, luggage in the boot. Get that fuel back on board. Minimal vehicles though. Makes this south side for them a lot more difficult to navigate. I'm not too happy with the amount of mobility that they're going to have. They do need to potentially try and find some vehicles or steal some from another team, as our circle will be coming in fairly soon. Yeah, for Vitality, might be a foot-based approach for the future if that hovercraft draws the fire like we see it. The circle shifts out west, and it does keep a lot of that military island in. It's got to push Al-Ula away from Novo, and the teams on the east bridge potentially going to have a little bit of a hurry up, but Al-Ula have that outpost over to the west. The east bridge, it's going to be a fairly easy disagreement to settle, I imagine, for Flash and Orangutan. Not for either of the two teams, but it should be a fairly simple solution for whichever team comes out on top. At the moment, looks like Orangutan might have the better end of the stick because the res does need to come through.
Res needs to happen, unfortunately.
अरे net अभी मत रुक यार, please.
For Al-Ula, they can't catch a break. You know they wanted that observatory position so bad. But they're at the bottom of the leaderboard. On the north side of this island, we got OG battling it out with Team Flash. Two teams pretty down on the leaderboards. Trying to soak up some points here, get some extra placements.
Again, you know,
Team Flash have a possibility to make a run of it. They need 15 points in this one and the next one to reach that smash zone, to try and smash in that final match. That's if we even get there. We could end this game here and now, folks. But you know what? Before it ends, you guys got to get in the game and get one of those Naruto Uzumaki skins right there. We got the Nine Tails Fury's AUG still available. Get it while you still can. Aurora, though, at 4th Thrive. This is a huge fight. They are battling it out over by these plain fields. Zol's going to have the angle there on T24. Throws the Molotov on him. He's going to have to move. The nade goes out to Zol. Picks him off a little bit. And now it's a battle. The utility touched the molly. He touched it with the tiptoe and gets knocked. Another huge mistake here out of 4th Thrives.
Hey, 4th Thrives had so much momentum, but the pendulum swings back the other way. Aurora now are another step closer. They put a second elimination point on the board. They are drawing inexorably towards that 122 metric. Now 5 points for them left to try and claim to join for a potential smash in Miramar if we get that far, because remember, 3 teams can still win it. And we've seen 2 chicken dinners on milli circles coming from Nongshim, who have a 2-2 split on the north side of the island right now. Furia may look to try and challenge the northern point of this. And are Nongshim going to look to regroup over towards the northwest side of Millie? They will have to at some point decide which outpost they want to commit to. It may need another circle for them to do so.
Yeah, they're in a really great spot right now. The problem is that everyone's going to want it. And they are completely surrounded by squads. And I guarantee you, the second a team realizes Nongshim where they're at, they're going to full commit to them for sure to try and stop them. E-Arena, meanwhile, going to be coming in through the zone on the north side. Where's the shift going to go? If it goes to the bridge, oh, this is going to be straight chaotic.
It's going to go. It's going to go a little bit close to the bridge. Now Nongshim need to regroup. For my money, I think that southwest side might just be a little bit better for them. They're right next to Ida there. Fury are going to charge on in over the hills. E-Arena have yet to get across the zone as well to get towards that military island crossing. Godlike are going to contest them on it. This could be the make or break moment for E-Arena. If they can get across, they've got the backline of that coast to keep them a little bit safer, but they have to get there first and challenge off Ulf. Maybe Nigma Galaxy will join in that fray, but they have to get across.
Yeah, they're going to have to get across, and it's going to be a tough one right now. I mean, there is so many different teams crowding these bridges, and on both sides, on the eastern and western bridge. You can see Nongshim, though, they got those sandbags. They're going to be holding this hill. This is a great spot in this circle. They're going to have so many different sight lines. They can rotate away from it if necessary. They just got to watch out for the crash. These guys are set up for this one here. I'm not kidding. They are the biggest threat in this lobby right now.
It's crazy. Nongshim in a command point in this circle with the chance to smash this away. Put another military victory under their belt as well would be incredible. What a way to close it down. But they have got a long way to go. We're only 12.5 minutes into this game. And there's going to be at least 15 more of them. Ticking away. Every second, a drop of sweat beading on their foreheads of one of our players.
There's Godlike keeping an eye on E. Oh,
okay, that's Resable.
Yeah, that is Resable, so you should be able to get safe. Yeah, okay, so Nongshim gonna keep their player up here.
Okay.
Remember, they don't know who it is until it's flushed, so they still don't have a clue it's Nongshim just yet.
We'll be able to get that healing done. Unlikely that there's any full crashes onto this Nongshim position, given that the direction of crash would need to come from the north side at the moment, and Furia, Alola, generally not going to have the greatest of times getting across whilst each other are still there, not to mention Nigma Galaxy pushing in from that north side as well. So I feel like for the next circle 2, maybe, Nongshim Red Force is going to be very, very safe and secure in this position in a central spot. I'm also looking at S2G on the southwest side. No one really contesting them. Of course, you do still have Falak from 4 Thrives, the last player to stay alive, who could potentially find a backstop position, find an off angle, a cheeky little snake in the grass play. But for S2G on the southwest side, I think they have a good run up as well once everybody else crunches in.
Yeah, there's so many teams here. I mean, S2G, Nongshim Red Force, they're going to have some big dominant positions. They could win this game and end the tournament here and now. The question is how are they going to handle these fights? Do they take some of the fights early on like they normally would? Maybe not, because it's going to give away their position, and a lot of attention is going to be laser focused on them. A southern shift happens. S2G have the high ground.
Now, this is really important. Sure, S2G have that high ground. This is really good for them, but Nongshim's decisions in the next minute or 2 are going to be pretty make or break. The teams on the northeast side will have to figure out who's going to take a crack at it. I feel like Nongshim can kind of stay here for a little bit longer, but they have to be able to hold out as the crossing on the bridge starts to unfold. We've got 4 teams behind the queue, and actually E-Arena are sweeping in to try and play in behind this. They think, oh, surely the eastern bridge is going to be empty. Think again.
Nope, there are a whole bunch of teams holding on this eastern bridge. There's like a bunch of squads, and IGL's had the same idea. And this is stage 4. The blue zone is really going to start chunking them here. They cannot afford to be holding here for so long. And for Team Flash, this is their chance to disrupt E-Arena.
A real big chance. E-Arena have stumbled at every block since that first match that saw them into the smash zone. And they are being denied access. So many players sit in front of them. You've even got Eagle behind in Milta for Tianba to try and make that one happen. So a really, really desperate scenario now for E-Arena, whilst the two teams that sit with them in the smash zone are laughing. And there goes Schweppes.
There goes Schweppes.
Unraisable now, stage 4.
And now WizGod is going to be looking to get that thirst, soak up them points. They know it's E-Arena here. Oh, the pan shot.
Okay.
Woo! He said, okay, let me go ahead and get back to this side. Mormon desperate at this point. Just going to be full sending it across this bridge to try and survive. The blue zone chunking them down. And the crowd, you can hear them chanting. I can hear the S2G chants already. They know this looks really good, but can they finish it out?
Oh, this east side concluding, and we didn't really catch it on camera, but Furia went up towards Nigma Galaxy to take that fight on the northern side. They were able to take a player down and not lose any themselves, but again, that leaves no challengers from the east towards that Nongshim high ground position in those sandbag spots. Everybody from the east side is going to be coming into this zone raggedy, run through, as E-Arena do manage to get across the bridge, but at the cost of Schweppes.
Yeah, at the cost of Schweppes and a whole bunch of utility as well. They're going to be going through almost all their meds here just to try and survive. And then they're going to have to get lucky into this circle. They're going to have to